I died.
What?
I had to be resuscitated.
Key?
Yeah. All the things that I kind of am is kind of against some people's religions and the things that I stand for. Every time I felt like a little gay feeling peeking out,
Okay.
like, no. As a teacher, I want to make sure I'm giving you quality. So what you learn when you're a beginner is what you're going to think dance is until you're told it's not. When I was younger, actually, it was hard for me to see myself making a career out of dance. I used to think that it was unattainable for me just because I didn't look like the people that I'd see. Like, talent isn't a requirement anymore. I open the door, I look down, and it's like a little box, and it says, and I immediately look like from who it's from, because I was like, that's gonna tell me. And it said from Monsters Dance, and I was like, oh my fucking gosh, like this has to be it. But it was definitely hard to see your friends get it and see other people get it, and you're like, bro, I just had this last year, but what am I doing wrong? And I was just looking inward, and I was being like, something I'm doing has to be wrong.
Okay.
I went into the week and I was like, they're gonna have no choice but to pick me. I'm gonna make
with
it
that
a point.
mentality,
right?
And
When I got there, I immediately started questioning my star quality, and it did nothing for me. It's like I was looking at the people next to me, and I was like, am I supposed to be in here right now?
Okay.
It made me question myself. I never had a girlfriend before. Like,
okay.
So it's easy for you to be manipulated when you're the rookie in the situation.
Yeah.
Like I definitely had moments where I was just in my room like, why am I still unhappy? Like I have all this attention, and I'm like, like I'm doing this, that, and the third, and I'm clubbing and I'm having fun, but it's like I'm still unhappy, and it's because of me. I just donated my kidney for my dad. So
shit.
Yeah, it was cool. I have one kidney. I gave my dad a new life.
Yeah.
And I gave this woman a new life. And
then
I gave
the
I gave her son a mom. I witnessed it all. It's definitely traumatic to witness your dad going through so many health crises and feeling like he might be gone the next day or like things like that.
Hi everyone, welcome again to the podcast. So Rojo, the podcast of your heart and your house, baby. I love you. Yes, sir. This time I have I always say the same thing about like everyone else, like surprising. I say like special. Honestly, all my guests are special. Like I haven't, have like that many episodes yet. But you don't know like how much distance of traveling they have to make so they can actually make it to the studio. But with all of you in the podcast, so Rojo, Jojo, bro.
Oh, period. Hey. I get a round of applause.
It's like, hi Jojo, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited.
Super good, bro. I'm so excited to have you finally.
I know. It's been like
a lot.
Crazy. It's been crazy trying to get here, but
But the important thing is like we're here. We're not there. We're here.
Right.
I always say this, like we're all adults. We have our own schedules.
Yeah.
And then shit happens, bro. Like I'm gonna be like, hey yo, like I'm not able to make it anymore. Like that shit was tomorrow. Or you can be like, oh, I got a gig. You know what I mean? Like, and also I was telling this to Audrey. You know Audrey?
Yeah.
I was telling that to her. Like, also look, I live in Bumblefuck, bro. Like.
You do live far. I was like, I've never seen this part of Jersey. I lived in Jersey my whole life. What town is this?
This is I'm a beep.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, wait, no. I'm like, imagine I'm like just like. It's a Somerville. It's called Somerville.
Okay.
So it's close to Somerset. What else? Bambrook. I don't know.
Okay, so
but it's like
far
20 minutes from New Brunswick, so you can have
Okay.
a better idea. So like
Okay.
Monsters happens here, Chaos.
Right.
I'm very close to like where that things happen.
Right.
But from the city, bro, I'm like,
Yeah, deep. Oh, you're farther away from the city than
rather
than,
bro.
like,
I've been
closer.
telling Kelly Peters that every time I gotta go to Expo, it's like a 2-hour trip, like
Holy
2-hour
shit.
going here and 2-hour going down. So he was like, "Why are you not coming to class during Monday and Friday?" And I'm like, "Ha!"
Right. It's like more like cost and effort to get there sometimes.
I mean, yeah, bro. It financially and it's struggle sometimes. Because we ain't rich yet.
Okay, not yet.
You
We will
gotta
be,
subscribe
though.
on this shit. Thank you. But I was telling you work also like during that time and whatever. But anyways, Jojo, how are you? How was your day?
Let's see. What did I do today? Okay, I'm good. First of all, today was good. Today, when it's like a little gloomy outside, it gets like less motivating to do shit. But like I woke up, I was like, nah, I got shit to do today. But I just like taught the kids today. Love the kids. Actually, okay, let me not say that. But I do. was gonna say I don't like kids. No, but
I don't either. Don't worry.
I'm not. I'm not the biggest kid person.
You're not like the fan of like a kid,
right? Like taking care of a kid myself. But when it comes to like teaching dance to kids, pulls on my heartstrings because it's obviously like I'm teaching kids through dance. It's not like I'm teaching them like a curriculum.
And also like it's just like what 1 hour, 2 hours, and they're like they're out,
and it's fun. And also like like the kids at there are good kid dances everywhere, but like I'm talking about Brick House, like those kids are fucking fire. Like they're fucking fire. So like to be able to dance with them and like put my choreo on them and not have to like modify shit, it's great. Like it feels nice. Like it's cool. So yeah, I just did that today for a couple hours. Then I went home, got ready, and now I'm here.
Nice, a busy ass day. Calm day. But I've heard from a lot of people is like who's like really a good teacher until you see them teaching kids.
Right.
And it's like, oh shit, it's true, bro. Because like,
myself.
as adult, it's like, let's get it, bam. It's good, like I'm dope. But like teaching a kid is like, how like difficulties have you had in your journey, like teaching kids, for example?
I think that when teaching kids, I've had to realize that I can't, like you were saying, I can't go at the same pace that I would teaching an adult. And, I've actually learned that like teaching adult beginner classes is similar to teaching kids dance.
Okay.
Not trying to infantilize like adults.
Yeah.
But like in the sense where it's like you're literally starting from scratch. And it's obviously harder to do that as an adult than a kid. But when teaching adult beginners, it's way easier, obviously, because there's not that like terrible behavioral aspect of it.
Yeah.
So like that's where the struggle kind of has come in for me, because I have very low patience, especially when it comes to kids and somebody else's kid, like somebody else's kid being rude to me or like.
And then on a regular basis.
Right. Like if it's consistent, I just can't. I can't do it. And
like,
right. And I've had to, the struggles I've like dealt with is just trying to keep it professional when in the moment, like during the class, not letting that affect how I treat the child or how I treat the other kids. Right. I'm like, I can't let my frustration with what's going on in that corner affect what I'm doing through the whole room. Yeah. Otherwise that's going to fuck up all the rest of the kids, learning processes. So oh, bless you.
I'm sorry. No, I'm like good. a little cup here and there, but I don't want to do
in the mic. You're good.
Yeah, don't worry.
But I think that just control, like just self-regulating a little bit in the moment and just being like, Jojo, like calm down. They're kids. Also reminding myself that they are kids.
Okay.
Like trying to think about how I used to act when I was a kid in dance class. Yeah, I wasn't a bad kid, but I'm sure you could tell. And like, I mean, my close friends could tell you, like, I'm a goofy person.
But also, like, I think it depends on like the new, like all the new generations. Right. Like, for example, me, I'm Latin, so I come from a Latin background, of course. And then my mother, bro, like if I'll do something disrespectful, she slap my shit out of there, like right there, bro. Now I see some kids, and I'm like. And I'm looking to the parents like,
it's so different.
Really, you're not gonna do anything?
No, literally, and it's so different. And I hate bringing parents into it. Yeah, because I don't want to make the child's home life harder. Like I don't know what people do at home. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how people, deal with their kids when they misbehave. And I don't want to make that harder for the child. So I hate doing that. But sometimes it just gotta be too much, and I'm like, I can't like. I'm not getting paid enough to deal with your badass kids, like after a certain point. But
were you like scared, like to teach kids, like the first class you went?
Oh, for sure. I get nervous teaching kids. Like kids are mean. Yeah. Like even going and teaching like fucking like 14 to 16-year-olds, it's scary. Like I get nervous because they're mean. They don't give a fuck about shit. They don't care about shit. Like they
got nothing to lose.
No, literally.
You can lose your job, motherfucker. No,
they're like, my mom be paying for me to be here, bitch. But like, I'm like, I need a job. So it's like, fuck. Like it's hard because like they're literally so mean, and I'm like, what if I come in and they're all making fun of me in the corner like that? Because I'm not like I'm only 22, so I'm not that far off from like the kids that I teach. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be like their older sibling, so. It is definitely nerve-wracking going and teaching kids, but I've learned like to just be confident in my teaching abilities and like, the kids that want to learn, they're gonna learn.
I mean, yeah, of course.
And the kids that want to be there, you're gonna know they want to be there. And
of course.
like I always have to remember it's out of my control when there are gonna be kids who are just disruptive or they don't want to be there. And like I always also think of it like, okay, maybe their parents are just making them do a sport or some shit. I mean,
yeah,
that.
It's like
you know what I'm
I don't
saying?
want you home.
Right. Maybe it's that
For a
situation,
reason.
right? And it's out of their control.
Yeah.
That they're there and they
Of
really don't
course.
want to dance. But I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to consider all the factors. But yeah, I say that to say it definitely
Of
does
course.
get hard, trying to self-regulate during the moments where I'm like, fuck, like these kids are just acting out. And it gets frustrating. Like it really fucks with you. Like, no, seriously, like,
You're like,
working with
am
kids
I like
fucks
a
with you.
bad teacher?
No, literally. Like it makes me question myself. I'm like, fuck, am I doing something wrong? But then I remember, no, like it's just these badass.
So
kids.
can you recall like I want to put you to two scenarios, right? Like,
Yeah.
give me like the worst anecdote. You know what's an anecdote? Like the worst experience
Okay,
that you
yeah.
had with a kid, and then the best one, so we can like.
Okay, period. Okay. Probably like teaching at a studio and I was like, I had picked out a whole song and like a whole dance and like already made the choreo for it and I play it and I do it and they're like, oh, I hate this song. And they're like, I just, and they don't want to do it. And they're like,
they're not gonna move.
They're like, you could do so much better than that. And I'm like, I thought it was good.
What?
Like they're literally mean. And it's like, granted, this is at a studio where like I've danced with some of these kids. Like I was a student at one point while they were like babies, and then now I'm teaching them.
Okay.
But like it still hurt my feelings. So I was like, bro, like I spent so much time picking a song in dance, and now y'all fucking hate it. But then I literally changed the song because I was like, I felt so.
You're like, because I'm that good.
No, no, I literally just put the fucking choreo to a new song. So I was like,
like it actually matches the
right.
The fuck.
I was like, oh, okay, period. And I was like, okay, what do I do? But that was a moment where I was like, okay, but why do they feel comfortable telling me they don't like that shit? Like I'm the teacher. Like I'm actually in charge.
I will never at that age. I will never.
I know. I think about that too. I think about how like I used to act in the sense where if like I used to be scared of my teachers. Like kids nowadays don't give a fuck. Like
I think like for social media, I'm like my auntie,
Yeah.
bro. I'm like, it's because of social media.
No, it really is. It's because of them damn phones. Like it really, really is. But yeah.
Okay, now give me a good one. So
great one.
like you're like, oh, I love kids now.
Oh, I don't know if I was, but no. Please hire me for your hiring for your kids. I do like kids if they act
For
right.
2 hours.
If they act right, right.
I like
right.
them for 2 hours.
No, but probably like I've had a lot of good moments with kids. I think that I don't know if I can like pinpoint a specific moment, but I think in general, like whenever I see, actually, no, let me say this. Today, when I was teaching excess, there was this girl in there. I won't say her name just because she's underage and, I don't know, just being respectful. But today something like clicked in her. And I think it was just like,
that
like
moment
a complete
of like
180. Like it was the moment where I was like, oh, it's clicking for you. Like it's starting to look
neurons
like it makes
connected.
sense. I'm like, this is a different dancer. And like, I think that moment and like just in general moments like that are really special to me. Because like as a teacher, I value what I bring to the table for my students, whether you're 3 or 30. I want to make sure I'm giving you quality because especially if you're a beginner, because this is the first taste of dance. So what you learn when you're a beginner is what you're going to think dance is until you're told it's not. So if I'm giving you bullshit, then you're going to think dance is bullshit and you're going to dance like it's bullshit. Like
okay.
I have to do the work to be able to give you the knowledge that's correct, that you can take in. So seeing it like in full motion and seeing the tables turn and them just become this like confident, like they're retaining it and they're giving me everything I've been asking for. It's a really special moment, especially in kids. Because I'm like, you have so much more time left. Like you have so much more room to grow. And like, it's just cool to see that transition. But,
nice.
Yeah.
And after all these beautiful words, fuck them kids. No, I'm kidding.
Imagine like, fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're like, you recorded that, right? No, okay, good. So, for anyone that is like possibly watching the episode and they don't know who you are, what would you think it would be a good introduction for yourself for people who like they don't know you?
Okay, well, I'm Jojo Brooks to be exact.
I got you, bro.
Period. Thank you. I'm 22. I'm born and raised in New Jersey. Period. Shout out to Jersey. Yeah. Period. I started dancing when I was 3.
I was sorry.
After every word.
I'm sorry. I need to be very serious here. I'm not in my other podcast.
Oh, that was funny. No, but I started. Imagine I'm like, okay.
They're like, are you gonna let me talk? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're funny. It's fine. But I started dancing when I was 3. I started beginning West African dance, and I literally I did that for over a decade. I did that till I was 16. Oh my God. That was the first dance I ever did. I didn't even start hip hop till I was like 10 or 11. So hip hop isn't even my first like love.
Okay.
It's getting like traditional West African dance.
Okay.
I started hip hop as well as like tap, jazz, lyrical, contemporary, ballet.
Dang, you did all that shit.
Everything, salsa. Like I've trained.
Salsa? Come on, Jojo.
You know.
Okay, new album about Bundy. Let's get it, Benito.
Right, like
book her.
Right.
I mean, book
please,
us.
Book both of us. But yeah, I've trained in like hella shit. You know, like some stronger than others. Obviously, I stuck with hip hop. I knew hip hop was like the thing I always wanted to do.
Okay,
and I saw myself. Well, when I was younger, actually, it was hard for me to see myself making a career out of dance. I used to think that it was unattainable for me just because I didn't look like the people that I'd see at the time. Obviously, times have changed.
Of course.
From when I was a kid and when we were kids, like things are way different even than they were like 5 years ago.
Okay.
So like things are all obviously constantly changing and the industry is constantly evolving and growing. But when I was younger, it was hard for me to, see these like skinny, like maybe like non-black girls most of the time being booked on things, and I was like, bro, like I want to be able to do things like that, and I just couldn't see it for myself. Like I didn't think that I could.
Okay.
But like I never like erased it out of my brain. I kind of just
like was like hiding right there.
Yeah, I was like, I probably won't be able to do it, but I'm gonna keep trying.
Okay.
So then I started dancing when I was 16 in the city. That's when I first made the transition to like take dance a little more seriously.
Okay.
Because before that I was kind of just dancing. Like I knew I was good at it, and I knew it was cool. Okay. But like I think when I was 16, I realized, okay, I actually think I want to do this shit for real.
Okay.
So I started dancing in the city. I started at Brick House. I was a little sherm. Wasn't really that good. I mean, I was all right, but like, there's always things that were
I was valid.
I was pretty good. I was all right. But looking back, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like that was ass. But now, I think since then I've just been working really hard. I train very consistently.
Of course.
I started choreographing. I've always choreographed like since I was younger, but I started taking choreography a little more seriously around that time. And then like a year ago, I got my own slot, my first slot at Brick House. Right. Exactly.
You're good.
So I got my first slot at Brick House.
Okay.
And then that was going cool. Building it. Now I'm finally starting to get people to come out to class. It's really special for me watching people do my stuff. It'll never get old. Like if one person shows up or if 20 people shows up, it means the same exact thing to me. I'm like, you paid to come here. It's still a crazy concept, but now I'm blessed to have 2 slots in the city. So I'm working hard, I'm dancing, and I don't ever want to lose that student aspect. So I'm still training. So balancing that all. But I think when it comes to like who I am, aside from a dancer, because dance is life, obviously dance is my life, but I want to be a person outside of that. And I think that overall, I don't know, I think I'm just a really like fun, outgoing, but also introverted but extroverted person.
Yeah, I got you.
Like I'm extroverted, but I'm also introverted. Like people who know me probably be like, bitch, you're not fucking introverted. Like, I personally feel like
you're fucking crazy. You were twerking right there in the club.
Right,
I'm like, what the fuck?
I wasn't. But yeah, I do feel like I'm that, and I think that I just care about so much about people around me, and I value my friendships and my relationships with my family, and I like to hone in on that and like build on that, and I like value the people that are close to me, and that's really special to me too, aside from the dance shit. And like it all intertwines because like a lot of the people that are close to me are people I've met through dance. So sometimes it can get hard to like
disconnect.
Like it's hard to like step outside of it sometimes because you're always in it. Because if you're not dancing physically at the moment, you're talking to your friend about dance, or you're looking at dance videos on Instagram, or you're making up choreo in your head or shit like that. But I think overall, I feel like I'm I'm just a good person. Like, I just be vibing. Like, I'm just here for the vibes, and I just want to grow. I'm a person that's I've always been dedicated to growing, and I always want more for myself,
Okay.
as well as the people around me. And I can just hope that it comes, you know what I'm saying? But
Nice.
I'm grateful for like all the opportunities I've gotten, and like
How
far I've come. Yeah, like it's wild. Like, I was just telling you in the car, like, it's like I've done shit that I've always dreamt of doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get lost in the fact that it's not stuff that, like, not all the things I've wanted to do, but I'm like, bro, I'm only 22. Like,
I mean, bro,
I'm young. Like, I have so much time.
I mean, yeah, like, you got time, but also time goes flying, bro.
Right.
Like, I don't want to sound like your aunt, like uncle, but
no, it does.
Like,
fly.
bro, like, listen, I'm 25 now, and when I got here to this country, I was 20, bro, and like, I look back and I'm like, yo, 5 years, like,
yeah, it flew by.
ASAP. It's like, it's something like this, like, look back whenever you were like 18, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah,
but it was like 4 years ago. You're like,
no, literally, like 2019 feels like 2 years ago.
I mean, also that pandemic, bro.
Yeah, I think that's like
that fucked us up, bro. I lost like
really
2 hours,
no,
2 years
no,
of my
literally,
fucking life.
especially because I had to finish high school in the pandemic. So it's like my whole concept of time is fucked up. I feel like I'm delayed a little bit because of fucking COVID, but you know.
Okay, well, you consider yourself, because you talk about like taking care of like people who are like around you or whatever. You feel like you're a family person?
Yeah, I think I'm. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing. I think that I like. I mean, not to get deep on the podcast, but I think that with my family, I love my family and I'm really close with them. But it's weird, like, I'm close with them, but then, like, it's just a different, well, this isn't weird, but I guess it's just a different type of relationship I have with them than I do with my friends. And, like, my level of affection with my family isn't the same level of affection with, like, my friends or my girlfriend or anything like that, which is, like, normal and, like, normal. But I am close with my family. Like, my siblings are the reason why I'm, like, the artist I am.
How many siblings you got?
I have 5 siblings, 3 half siblings, 2 full siblings.
Okay.
Obviously, I've grown up with like my 2 full siblings.
Okay.
My sister, Iman, she's a dancer as well.
Okay.
My brother, he's like a professional DJ. He's a house music DJ. He's really like well known in the house music community. I also DJ sometimes. Okay. That's a little bit of a part of me that's a little hidden down below.
Okay.
That I don't like. You know, it's just like the type of thing where you have like the talent but not the passion. And I just like, I know I'm talented at it, but I just have a passion for dance. And I'd rather just spend my time doing that.
Kia VHN is like she's a Jersey club dancer.
Wait, what's her name?
Kia.
Oh yeah, I do know who you're talking about.
Well, she's a DJ too. She was in the podcast too.
She's a DJ too.
Bro, she has a page with like, I don't want to like misquote, but like I think like it's a 10K following of DJ. She's getting right now like a lot of gigs. Like she went abroad to like I think it's you call like playing DJ, I guess. Yeah. We were talking about that, like all the process, the creation, and like being a producer too, like because like whenever you're a DJ and then you create your own music, like she has a hit like it's a anniversary, something like that. Jersey Club song. Okay. Very good song. It had like 1 million fucking views in fucking YouTube.
Oh, shit.
She's amazing, bro. She's amazing.
That's great. And like it's amazing because everything's so connected in the artist world, like in the industry, in the artist world. Like crazy. It helps you, like even when I'm putting like music, like stupid shit, like I'm putting the music over my dance videos. I'm like, bro, like this sounds off. And I play it for my friend and she's like, bro, this sounds fine. And I'm like, no, this is off.
You're like, there's like, a little.
Right. It's like that
like in
little,
the music is right.
Yeah. Like it's a knack you have in the back of your ear. And it's because
and your friend is like,
have that little thing. You know, they're like, bitch, it's fine. I'm
bitch,
like,
it's 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
No, literally. I'm like, no, it's off.
You're like, there's a little.
I swear. But yeah.
And then how you like you said you have the talent but not the passion, right?
Yeah.
But like how you started DJing, like for the first time, like what was like how was that experience? Sorry,
that was in your ear. But so my brother, like I said, he started DJing when he was 7.
Okay.
So house music has been a big role in our family since we were younger. Like, you know, sometimes everybody is from different cultures.
Of course.
Obviously, so like on Sundays or like whatever day, like parents might wake up and blast your cultural music or whatever. That's saying like it's cleaning time and shit like that. But it was always house music for us.
Okay.
So my brother just started DJing when he was 7. He was fucking ass when he started because he was 7. But like he never quit on it. And like we used to be like, Amir, like shut the fuck up. Like in the back of his room, like it used to sound so bad. And I know you're watching this up here. And I mean that. Like it was fucking hurting my
fucking
ears.
trash, motherfucker.
But now this nigga's crazy. Like my brother is so like the most talented person, like, and I'm not being biased. Like he's like his DJing abilities are just fucking otherworldly. Like,
and then he's like a full-time DJ.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, he's traveled the world doing this shit. Like God. It's wild.
So you're just like surrounded by artists.
Yeah, and I think that's what's helped me find myself as an artist too. And like I think that I just see being the youngest of all my siblings, watching them do what they do makes me want to do it. That's why I think why I started to DJ is because I just saw him do it. I was like, wait, I could probably do that. Like, let me try.
Better than you,
and then I just tried it, and I'm like, wait, I can. Like, I'm the type of person where it's like it's easy for me to do stuff if I see it.
Okay.
And I can try it and like replicate it pretty well.
Right, you're a good observer.
Like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I could probably do this. And then I tried it and I could, and I was pretty good at it. And then I was, but like it was the type of thing where it's just like I hate practicing with it, but like I'd love to practice dance. Like it's like I could do it if I wanted to, but I'd rather just devote my time to dancing and like putting my energy into that, you know?
Yeah, I got you. Like, what's your like favorite music too? Like, if you want to listen to something, you're like usually like hip hop. You go to like African music or what's your thing in your daily basis? I love
just R&B, hip hop R&B. Like 2000s music is probably like my fave shit to like listen to. Like I always say, like I wish I was the age I am now in like 2003 instead of being born
because
in 2003.
Of inflation. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm like
you're talking about affording a house.
Right? No, well that's fucking too. But I wish I could be in the club.
Okay.
In 2003, like
that shit was
probably lit. Like I've seen videos of people at prom. Like 2006, and I was like, y'all are lit as fuck.
I mean, yeah, I see, like, for example, like, I don't know if I don't go to the right clubs, but people, they don't dance in clubs anymore.
No, they don't.
Just, like, even, like, the clubs I go to, they have, like, little tables and, you know, you got your fucking drink. But there's actually, like, I haven't find too many clubs that they have actually a dance floor. There's like, oh, you know, we have a little space here, like a hallway, like go dance. But I'm like,
people don't dance there anymore. And like, I'm the type of person where, like, as a dancer, when I go out to the club, I'd like to be a normal person.
Oh yeah,
for the
me
time
too.
I'm there. But it's also like, if there's a song on that's like my shit, I'm gonna fucking dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to sit up here and fucking do a whole choreography, but like, I don't know. If my song's on, then I'm a dance. But I mean, you know, I do like to be a normal person.
Would you consider yourself like, because you said you were introverted and extroverted, like in the regular basis, are you the type of person that like to like have attention because like you're a dancer? Like for example, in a club, are you gonna like take the stage or
no,
like
definitely
you
not.
want to just like don't look at me?
Right. I think that's the introverted part of me. It's weird because like things like that, like I hate whenever I was at like a family event, my parents would be like, all right, do
dance.
Yeah. My parents are like, all right, or my aunts are like, all right, do a little dance. I'm like, I don't want to. Like, it makes me so nervous.
Okay.
Or like one time I was at a festival my brother was DJing at, and they started talking about me and like wanting me to come on stage, and I actually like had a whole breakdown. I was like, no, like please don't. I was so mad at my dad because he told him to say that. I was like, why the fuck would you do that shit to me? Like I hate things like that. I don't ever want to like be in a cypher in public. Like it makes me nervous. Like but like if I'm in studio, like it's cool.
It's
like,
a good environment because everyone's like
dance. Right. But in public it's just like scary. But if I'm like performing like on stage, I'm very extroverted. Like I will go all out.
Fuck that shit up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like, yeah.
I think like there's, I'm a kind of person that I think there's time for everything. Like, for example, I do dance for a living too. Like I have my own dance studio. So I've been like shaking my ass like all day, like every single day, bro.
Right.
So it's like a typical, like for example, if you're a singer and if you go to a family meeting or even like a friend meeting, it's like, yo, come sing. It's like
right. It's like so I don't want to.
For me, it's like there's like a salsa shit and like come dance. He's a dancer. I'm like, bitch, I'm not working right now.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not working. You're like da da da. You're like so like rude or whatever. I'm like, yo, like, can you just come like do like finance for me right now in the party? Like the fuck. I'm like, yo, because I mean, I have also like some friends. They just love to take like in like fucking in a party. They just like to take.
Take the floor.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I
me
mean,
too.
you go, bro. I'm just like have a regular
Right, I'll take
conversation.
videos of you, but I won't be on the floor with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll take the
I'll
videos.
get the footage, but I will not be involved.
It's just crazy how like in your case, I want to say like our personality, because I think like in that we share that common. Like in our personality, it's just like crazy how like at the same time we can be so extroverted,
Yeah.
and at the same time be like so shy and be like,
Right.
damn,
Yeah.
it's like Michael Jackson, bro. You know, like Michael Jackson, like he's like flashing every time, all this stuff, and then you like see interviews or like things like that, and he's like, oh, like hi,
Right,
Even
he
like
talks so low.
there's an interview like a lady was like, come on, sing, and he's like, well,
He's like, I didn't really
and I'm
want
like.
it. And you're like, bro, you're Michael Jackson.
I'm like, you're fucking Michael Jackson. The
Right.
fuck is you talking about?
Right.
You know, one of my favorite videos of like Michael Jackson ever. Have you seen this video when like they're actually like recording ¿cómo se llama esta canción? Like we run is that like we
I think I
run
know
the
what song.
world,
Yeah, I know what song you're talking
da-da-da-da.
about.
And they're like there's some people singing, and then Michael is like,
Oh my god, I know what you're talking
yo!
about. That video is a
And then,
fucking classic.
bro, and then he goes like there's a guy going like, oh,
Yes.
and he goes like,
no, and he's side eyeing them mad hard. No, I love that video.
yo, I can take this video and repeat it all day
No,
long. Like I can be
literally.
fucking laughing, bro.
Literally.
I'm like,
No, for real, because he's literally sitting there like, what the fuck is this?
it
Was mad random people too. Like I feel like put together, like obviously all celebrities and like
I guess, yeah.
icons, but
Imagine like could you do that today?
what?
Where people can actually sing?
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm like, you think like the music industry can do that with?
Oh no!
with the,
Oh
"We
yeah,
run the
yeah, yeah.
world."
I get what you mean.
And,
Like,
like-
if like can they rely
like
on
without
people actually
auto-tune?
being- Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
It's just crazy how like singing hasn't like it's not a requirement anymore.
Like talent isn't a requirement anymore.
I'm
Even
like,
for dance, like you don't have to be talented to do this shit. And I think, oh, sorry, I'm saying everything. I'm saying something that
That's
everybody's
just so
thinking.
facts. It's facts.
Like you don't have to be talented to do shit anymore. And I think that's why, like, getting back into dance, like it's hard. Like this shit is hard because like niggas like me, like I've been training my whole fucking life for this shit.
yeah.
And people will come up and not be and just know the right people and get the opportunities you want, right? And it's like, okay, period. And like I'm not knocking nobody for doing their shit. Like
mean, yeah,
everybody
but-
do your shit, make your money, do your thing, period. Like good for you. But that's
you're not a
when it gets
dancer.
to self-doubt. Yeah, it gets you start doubting yourself because you're like, bro, like
I'm doing
I'm
all
training
this.
so much. I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not
Yeah.
getting the right result. And it's just like there's no real reason why. There's really no real reason why. Like it's just the way that the shit is unfolding, and it's unfortunate. But like you really don't have to be talented to do shit no more.
Yeah.
And
it sucks.
it sucks hard, and it's like finding your way through all of that, and just it's like you think about what you need to do, and it's like there's nothing you really need to do. Like it's whether they see you or not, and they might.
I mean,
not.
you just gotta know the crowd maybe and like know
Yeah.
what they want, I guess.
Yeah, but,
But-
that's still so unpredictable. Like they never even know what they.
I mean, and
fucking
also
want.
like they can have a peak and then like never be
yeah,
like they forget about them or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's like in everything, YouTube, TikTok, or
Mhm.
like any type of content you do, like even OnlyFans, like whatever.
yeah.
Like you do your thing, girl.
Right, like I don't judge nobody. Like get your fucking
Bro,
money how you want to fucking get it.
We're living in
Do your
crazy
shit.
times.
Right, like this fucking economy, and especially with this nigga coming into office, like it's not better get no better. So bitch, if you gotta
Yo.
fucking show some ass to get some money, do
No, it's
your
just
shit.
crazy, bro. Like I've been, I was trying to get a new car.
Period.
But like it's just crazy, like the prices, monthly payments, and the way they scam you in dealerships. Like I've been doing my research, and I'm like, yo, like
yeah.
it's fucking crazy, bro. Even like I came to America for better opportunities, and it's not happening.
Right, and it's like you see all the bright lights, and you're like, oh my god, like what a nice life. But it's like the shit you have to do to make it. Like you might
I don't
have to do
know,
some
bro. It's
questionable
just like
things.
it's just crazy, especially with like a career like not a conventional career, like in this case dance, but you can
Yeah.
call it like arts or whatever. Like it's very unpredictable. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, you know how easy it is to get in procrastination as an artist?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, for example, me, right? I'm being a procrastinator all my fucking life.
Real.
I mean, yeah, bro, dead ass. Like I was that kid in high school or even elementary. I was like, when is the homework due? It's
Right.
like Friday. Friday 2 p.m. 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Friday, bro. I'm gonna do that shit.
Same, I'm the same
but I
way.
was responsible.
Right.
So meaning like I was like, oh, I didn't do the homework. I was like rushing, right? So she was explaining to me that like whenever you have a due date, right? So you have a due date that someone put on you. So in this case, it's the homework, right? So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna procrastinate this shit, but I know like I'm gonna just like present it because I have a due date. So it's like if you have a 9 to 5, probably like you get ghost,
Right.
right? It's like, oh, you gotta like sell this amount of money. So you're like, okay, I gotta go. You can procrastinate it, but you can like get it at the end of the month or whatever. As an artist in general, if you're not really like in your shit, like discipline,
Yeah. If you're not
because it's
consistent.
like, damn, bro, like I want to get better.
It's
And it's like,
yeah.
when?
Yeah.
And then you like actually procrastinate and
Right.
procrastinate a lot of shit. So it can be like very tricky. It
No,
depends on
it
what you like,
can.
because it's like so specific.
Yeah.
You gotta like know your shit. You're not like you haven't had like procrastination issues, or how do you think like your personality goes with like responsibilities regarding your personal life or even in dance?
Dance, I'm very consistent. Extremely. I've been in ruts before where I'm like, fuck this shit, like da. Because dance is a relationship, which I think I was at a Monsters and Shonique said that, if I'm not mistaken, and she was talking about how, dance is really a relationship, and I took that with me because I'm like, fuck, she's right. Like, sometimes it could be toxic relationship, and sometimes it could be healthy, and you can love the person, and sometimes you're like, bro, fuck you, like you're doing some fuck shit right now, like. And I'm realizing it really is fucking like that. And I've had moments where I've been in a rut, but I've never been inconsistent with my training.
Okay.
And that's something I do pride myself
Of
with.
course.
Like, I've been consistently training since I was 16, like for real training, like doing the real shit. And I think that's why like I'm able to like grow, and like my choreo like looks different every time, or everybody has a trademark shit, but I try to do different shits because I have somewhere to pull from, and that's what I never want to lose, is having somewhere to pull from. So within dance, I'm very consistent.
Okay.
Within life, now, the inconsistencies do tend to come in a little bit with whether it be like, I can't, like, it's hard for me to save like consistently, like I'm making good money teaching and having a job and doing all this shit, but it's like, Jojo, you need to save your money. But like, I love clothes, like I love like, like I have fucking gold in my mouth.
You're like,
I have like fucking two grills, but I'm like, I need to save. But you're like, but it's also like, okay, not making excuses for myself, but it's really hard to fucking save in this fucking economy. Like every time I try to save, I'm like, no, let me just pull from my savings and pull a little bit out to just like make sure I have money or whatever, like that.
And also,
that's
like,
the way shit is,
like, I think like as an artist in general, like looks are very important. So like, for example, like I think you have like your, I can say like from my perspective, you're a very fashionable, how you say the word?
Fashionable?
Yeah. That shit. Person.
Yeah.
So meaning like I can see like, oh, like she's like caring about what she wears. Right. So it's like actually like an investment.
Right.
Like so much, like I'm not gonna say 100%, right? But I'm like, oh, not that gushy shit. No,
right.
But usually, yeah, bro, like, cause like it's very important how you look. Not for like, oh, I wanna like look like this, but you gotta look clean, like so you can like, even like whenever you come to a room and like you're like just wearing regular shirts or whatever, it's like, okay. But then some people, I don't know if you noticed, like I think you've been in like places with dancers or like even like singers or whatever, and then the way they carry themselves is like, oh shit, she's in the room.
Right. And I think, and that really plays a part. Sometimes, I mean, for me, like, I wear all this fucking jewelry. This isn't even all the shit that I, like, usually wear or have.
Okay.
But it's like, people are like, Jojo, why the fuck are you wearing that when you're dancing? Like, that would overstimulate me. And I'm like, if I don't have it on, I don't feel like myself.
Okay.
Because it's like, like, I love fashion. I love clothes. I get my inspos from, like, Pinterest and other people. And, like, I pull it and make it my own. So, no one's style is like fully original. Like everybody's pulling from somewhere.
Of course.
I'm not gonna say no one's, but like I know for me, like I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, yeah, my style is fully mine. Like I
mean,
made it all up.
Not even like if you created something, you got inspired by something.
You saw someone that you liked, and I and most of the time it's like me looking at Pinterest and being like, oh fuck, like she's fly as fuck. Like I'm gonna take that and try to make it my own. You know what I'm saying? So doing that within dance too, like wearing it to dance classes, it makes me feel better about myself. Like, I feel like I dance better because I'm taking pride in how I'm looking when I'm walking in the room. And it gives me confidence to be like, I look good as fuck right now. Now I'm going to dance good as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And
because your self-esteem was like, oh shit, like I feel nice today.
Right. Like I don't put all this shit on so people can be like, oh my God, you're so cool. I really do it for me. And I do it because it makes me feel good. And when I look good, I feel good. And that sounds cliche, but
it's okay.
It's true. It's true.
So something you want to work on is probably just like save a little bit more money.
Definitely need to save more. I definitely want to move out eventually. Like my home life is great. Love my parents. They're nurturing and they've supported me through my whole life, and they've funded a lot of my life and my dance shit. And you know, they'll never turn their back on me.
Of course,
they'll never like kick me out. But you know, me being approaching the peak of adulthood, I would love to eventually move out, especially with my partner.
Okay,
so
nice.
Definitely need to save for that. But I mean, it can get hard, especially because I travel a lot. So
I mean, just take a lot of things in consideration.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you have seen how much rent is right now.
I know. That's why I'm like, fuck.
No, listen.
And they'd be like, you need 20 times your rent to move in. And I'm like, who the fuck has that
facts.
shit?
Like, listen, like I just told you, like in the car, we were having a conversation, right, about my like life or whatever. And I was like, listen, I used to be in my country and like my parents got me, bro. Like I was like, good. But then I have to move, right? Mm-hmm. But my advice for everyone, like, if they ask me, of course, is like, yo, like you can stay home, like with your parents as much as you can, so you can save money.
Everybody says that too,
right? Because the thing is, like, okay, so you don't know how much you can make until you have the pressure of making that money. So, for example, for me, bro, before it was like, damn, bro, like I don't think I can make. It's just an example, right?
Yeah.
Like $1,000 in a month, like it's like a lot of money for me. Like, let's say like 5 years ago, like $100 was like too much for me. Mm-hmm. So then I had to, like, I was telling you, I had to pay my own college and everything. Mm-hmm. So I was like, am I just gonna cry or am I gonna do something?
Right.
So then you like, oh shit, I'm able to make like 1,000 and even more. And then you grow up with that and it's like, shit, bro, if I will be able to make this money living with my parents.
Right. You can save so much more.
Yeah, but so like every person is different though. Some people, like for me, I can learn just by observing other people's mistakes. And I'm like, oh, you fucked up.
Right. Let me take note.
Yeah. But some other people, they're like, they learn through experience. Mm-hmm. And that's fine too. But just like think a lot if you're going to move, bro.
Yeah, no, I definitely am not just going to move on a whim. Like, I always hear stories of like, people that like my mentors or like people I've learned from being like, yeah, I just like up and moved to LA and I was like broke and like they like went through all these trials and tribulations. And I might have to go through that, but I really don't want to. I mean, I don't think I ever would.
It's part of life though.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I don't think I ever would just because I have support, but like I just think about that. I'm like, bro, like maybe I just have to go through that shit and just have to like rip the Band-Aid off and just struggle for a little bit and then figure it the fuck out. Like
that's how you grow.
I have to make it.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know you like you do your gigs and whatever and you have your income, but I'm the kind of person that I say like you never know yourself until you live by yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you don't know what you're capable of or like the things you cannot take.
Yeah.
Whenever you move out, that's the real life, bro. Because like in your conscious, like you're like, damn, bro, if I fuck up, like I got my parents.
Right.
So like it's not like if you don't work, bro, and you don't like there's not a plate. You cannot fake that.
Right. It's all on you.
Cause like, well, for example,
like,
so for example, me when I was home, bro, I was like, fuck this shit, bro. My mom's gotta cook something for me.
Yeah.
Then here I'm like, yo, I gotta cook something.
Right.
Or like even like if you don't have money, it's like, damn, look, how am I gonna make the meal for tomorrow? I'm not saying I'm not broke, but
No.
I'm not saying I'm like you steal this shit.
No, I get what you mean though.
No, but yeah, it's just like life experiences, but like it's just life. You just gotta experience and you gotta struggle. Life is struggle. So it's just facts, bro. Like
literally I was in LA this past summer for a month.
Okay.
A month and a little bit of change. No, it was a month, I think, but whatever. It's not the important part. I was there. I got casted in a show.
Okay.
So I was in LA for a month. I had to live there for a month. I was fucking terrified. As soon as I got casted, I was like, I have to save. So I was able to save like a little over 1,000 like for the month.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this will be good. And I was still like making money, like I was still getting money coming in while I was there. So I was like, I'll be fine. But it was just like the fact, like you were saying, like I knew I had to have money while I was there. Like, so I had to make it work some fucking how. Like I had to just, and I was like, bro, how the fuck, like if I could save like that under pressure, because I had to, that means I can.
In fact,
like, I could save over $1,000 in like a little, like a month or a little less. Like I could fucking save a lot.
And more at home.
Right.
Because there you were like.
Right. And like I realized how much I don't know how to do. Like I don't know how to cook shit. And like I was there, I was like, I don't even know how to grocery shop. Like,
oh yeah.
And, like, I love my parents. Like they've done like everything for us.
Of course, bro, they're your parents,
but
and they're provided for you.
Right. And I'm like, I'm so grateful for the way that they have provided. But I'm like, bro, I don't know how to do shit. I don't know how to do shit. And it's my fault. Like,
I mean,
I'm not gonna be like, oh, my parents provided too much for me, because there's no such thing. But like,
yeah.
I need to learn how to adult correctly.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
thing is, like,
realizing that.
I had the same like struggle, like you, for example, like that same thought. Like for me, back in my country, I was like, I used to live with my parents, and they provided everything for me.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, this, like, for me personal, right? I was like, I got to a point where I didn't feel like I was worth of getting anything just because I didn't gain it. Mm-hmm. Everything was provided to me. So I got into this point where I was like I got into an existential crisis, because like, oh, like this phone, bro, like you didn't work for it. So then knowing that I was not able to get anything from myself, I was like, damn, bro, like I wish my parents didn't gave everything to me like right on my hands. Right. Just let me struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I was rich, but
you're like, actually, yes.
No. But it's just good, bro. Like the way I've grown in this like past 5 years when I moved here to this country. Like, yeah, bro, it's just crazy. Yeah. Like, I was like, damn, bro, like I am grateful for my parents. I am grateful for the values and morals like they put on me. But I will highly appreciate like show me like hard work. Like, I'm not that I mean I just like was studying in you know, like high school and college, but I was like, I would highly appreciate if you like, yo, you're gonna pay your phone bill. Yeah. You gotta like find a way to make money.
Right. I just started paying my phone bill. Like I was feeling my guts on this shit, but like I literally just started paying my phone bill. I don't pay for shit. And that's why I don't know how to fucking save, because I never had to fucking buy anything myself.
I mean, yeah.
You know?
Like, everything, bro, financial, like everything in life is just about habits.
Yeah.
So priorities, right?
Right.
So for example, I told you I want to buy a new car. So I was like, damn, bro, I need to save so I can like give a down payment. So I have a goal now. So I want to like, okay, I got to save. I'm not going to go out that much. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's just like, as dance, treat like your personal life like dance.
Right.
So like you can put like little goals so you can feel good about yourself. Because now I think like you feel good about your craft. Right. You feel like I'm Jojo, But personally, it's like, okay, so what can I get from dance with my persona to my regular life and be like, okay, like let me buy a phone by myself.
Yeah.
Let me you feel me?
No. It's just like setting those goals for myself.
Yeah, and like not asking for like, oh, like my dad or my mom or my sister. Yeah. It's just like, damn, bro. Like, cause that feeling, bro, of it's like
different.
Yo, I bought this shit. Like you can't like I cannot be punished and be like, no phone for this month.
Right.
It's like
it's my phone.
It's
bitch.
my phone, bro. Like the fuck.
I pay for it. Yeah, but No,
we're getting through it. Don't worry about it.
No, we will. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out how to fucking save.
I mean,
like it's not like I'm fucking like I. I don't know. I just need better habits. I guess that's just.
I mean, bro, we're like you told me, like everyone is in different journeys, bro. So someone might, bro. You know, my dad used to. He told me he started working when he was like 13. And I was that's like, crazy. I was 18 in my fucking house. And I didn't know shit.
That's so wild.
You know, like eventually at 20, I was like, oh, I gotta work in this and this and this and that. So maybe for you, bro, there's some people like they're not they don't experiment life until like they graduate from college.
Yeah.
So then they get a full-time job. It's like, okay, this is life. And maybe life for them is at 26, 27. So everyone's journey is different, bro. Just like, as long as you keep learning, Because some people would be like, oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
don't give a fuck. But now I'm like, no, I'm fucking gonna save. Like I'm scheduling
like-
money to come out my account every week, and it's staying there.
Or like, I think it's not even like about like saving. It's just like knowing like, okay, where my money is going.
Right.
Like right now, I'm using a budget app, so I'm like, you download the app, of course. Like use your phone, and then you everything is income, you put it, and then everything you like spend, you put it. And at the end of the month is manually, of course, right? And then at the end of the month, I'm like, okay, so where my money went? Oh shit, I went 15 times to McDonald's. That's like $300.
Right. Wow.
It's just an example,
That's
right?
but that's crazy because you don't know how much shit adds up. For real.
Bro, like for example, right? If like you pay like, let's say from between $15-$20 for a meal, just one meal every single day, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Let's say 5 days a week. That's like $100.
Yeah.
In the month, $400. That's a car payment.
Right.
Like, you feel me? So it's just like knowing this little like gaps. I was just telling you about like I have a dance studio, so I have to know like, oh shit, like I got here, da 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 da, and then I gotta pay my rent, and I gotta pay the other rent, and then I gotta pay this bit. You know, so everything is like, okay, where my money is going. So it's just like, again, just habits, and like again, bro, I think you can like you put your habits that you have in dance, you put it in your personal life.
Right.
Can't be Gucci, bro.
Right. Yeah, I know for sure. That's actually a really good tactic. But like that is a car payment. Like you don't realize like holy shit. And I think
You're like, damn.
yeah, I'm like fuck.
Like
And that's why I'm like hesitant to get a credit card because I'm like my ass. I'm gonna think it's fucking free money, and I'm just
no, just don't, if you cannot control yourself, just don't do it. No. But you gotta still like build your credit. A good like shit, you can just get it and just cut it.
No.
Yo, bro, save that shit with luck.
Right.
That shit, bro.
No,
like, because like some people can get like very bad debt with
no,
like,
I definitely don't
cards.
want that. And like I'm not like to the point where like I can't control myself, like I have an addiction. No, it's not that. I just know like I need to still build more responsible habits to be able to.
I mean, yeah, like for me, it's like, for example, it's like alcohol. Like one of the reasons I don't drink alcohol. So one of the reasons is just I know myself. I have a very addictive personality. So like for example, if I do a podcast, like I'm gonna go full out. So I'm by my mic. So I'm not half-assed. So I know like right now I was like trying to buy a car. You see my fucking how you call that, like algorithm? Everything about cars. So I'm like, yo, if I actually drink alcohol and then I like it, I know myself. Okay. So it's gonna get out of control.
Yeah.
So the thing is like you think you're under control until you don't.
Yeah. It's true. And you're like, fuck, it's too late now.
So I'm like, yo, would I like, this is just an exercise that I do, is like, what's the worst thing that can happen? So I'm like, oh bro, shit, like I get drunk and then I drive and then I can kill someone and like my life is fucking over. So I'm like, is it worth it? For me, it's not. And also like my personality is very outgoing, so I can have fun without alcohol. I understand some people are a little bit more shy, so they need that little ticka. But for me, I know myself. I have an addictive personality, so I'm just not gonna do it, bro.
It's
like
so responsible though.
I'm like, same shit with credit cards. Just to give you an example.
I'm like, that's why I haven't gotten one yet. I'm like, I know, like I need to like prove. I mean, how much I was able to save for LA really shocked me, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, holy shit, like period, I'm an adult. But yeah, being out there, I was like, I need to fucking learn how to do life, and I will. And I'm still learning, and I've like learned. I mean,
you're only 22, bro. Like, relax.
No, yeah.
She just had a birthday a couple of days ago. Okay, so moving on un poquito, right? You understand Spanish a little bit or not?
A little bit, yeah.
Un poquito.
A little bit.
Okay, so actually, you mentioned you were like in Monsters, right? Mm-hmm. So I would like you to like tell me, how was that experience like? Explain to like someone that they don't know like what the fuck is Monsters or whatever until I think you had your trip and whatever. So how was the experience of being in Monsters?
So I've been going to Monsters since I was 16, like when I started.
Okay.
So like a few years.
You've been around.
Not crazy long. But, you know, I didn't really understand it myself at first either until I saw the show and I saw people get nominated and I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, what does that mean? for people who don't know what it is, basically a dance convention. It's a hip hop convention, and you're able to train with like the pioneers of the industry right now, the people that are literally the main people that are working, the iconic people that have worked. Like, for example, like one of the choreographers on the faculty that teaches in some cities is Tony Testa, and he fucking has worked with Michael Jackson. Like, yeah, like he, like if you watch the This Is Us, or I don't know if that's the last, whatever, the last documentary that they made of Michael Jackson right before he died, when he was about to go on that tour, and then he died in the middle of it. Tony Testa was like one of the, I don't know if he was like assistant choreographer, but he was on. Like he was in that movie, and I was like, bro, is that him? And I was like, holy shit! And then I went down a whole rabbit hole of him, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm in the same, I'm able to train at the same place that he teaches. It's a privilege to be around these choreographers. Like it's a privilege to be in the same room and to hear what they have to say. It's like, I don't take it lightly at all. But anyways, that's a spiel. But yeah, so like you get to train with like the biggest choreographers in the game, and it's just like a convention, like just dancing for hours on end, Friday through Sunday. But, there's a thing called a nomination. So basically during Monsters, you go through the whole weekend. You'd learn a dance from one of the choreographers on Saturday. Okay. Audition it Sunday morning. The audition results in either a scholarship. They give out they give out a plethora of scholarships for each age level, for each division. But the biggest scholarship you could get is a nomination. Okay. So basically a nomination means that you're now in the running to be in the Monsters show. Okay. The Monsters show is important because it's something that's been able to give like the biggest dancers opportunity. Okay. All the biggest dancers in the game, not all, but most of them have gone through Monsters. Okay. Sean Bankhead, Monsters. Paris Goebel, Monsters. Like everybody, so like people. Whether they're teaching there or alumni, like most of the people that you see working right now have been at least at Monsters before or casted for the show. So when I realized how iconic it truly was, I was like, bro, I need to be a part of this. And I was like, bro, look at the people that have come out of this. Like, I want to be like them. Like, they're amazing. Like, and they're all coming from one place. So it has to mean something. So I must be in the right place. Now I have to do something right within myself so that I can get to where they are. Okay. Even a smidgen of where they are. Of course. So I ended up getting nominated for the first time in 2023. Okay. 2022. I don't know. I got nominated in Nashville, Tennessee by Andy J. Love you, Andy J. I love you. She nominated me. I did not get casted that year. Okay. Cool. So now it just restarts. Yeah. The next season of the convention. I'm going zero. Again. Start from zero. I'm not nominated. I'm not nothing. I get nominated again last year at one of the last cities, which was Jersey, my hometown. So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. By Andy J again. She nominated me again. And then I ended up getting casted last year. So basically I just got like a package on my doorstep, and it was basically like hey, like you're in the show type shit.
Let me stop you right there. So what was your emotions during that time? My God. Like how you felt? What were your thoughts?
It's crazy. It's like it's fucking wild even thinking about it now. Obviously all of the nominees knew it was coming. Nobody was like, people knew some of the people who had gotten casted, but you're not really supposed to say. Okay. But obviously everybody talks. Like you kind of get an idea. I wasn't gonna tell nobody shit. But yeah, so I had been looking out for a package for a couple of days because I knew they were out. I knew that they had started sending them out. Okay. I was like, okay, I know everybody lives in different states, so mine might come in a different day, whatever. I open the door. I look down and it's like a little box, and it says, and I immediately look like from who it's from because I was like, that's gonna tell me. And it said from Monsters Dance, and I was like, oh my fucking gosh, like this has to be it. And it was, and I was like, oh my God, like it just felt like everything that I've done up until that moment just made right sense. In that box. All the money I've spent traveling to go to these conventions, the time, the effort, the tears, the feeling of like not being able to do it, like not comparing, like all of that just went in the garbage because I was like, bro, I did it. Like all the shit that I had been working towards is fucking here. Not everything in life, but like when it comes to Monsters, I had been going consistently for so long, and I spent so much money and time, and just like it was so hard, especially that specific season last year, because I was just getting nothing. Like, not that I mean, you should never go to any convention looking to get a scholarship. It should be for training. But obviously, coming off of a season where I was able to get nominated and not like, getting anything.
Yeah, you're not expecting to be like, I'm not accepting least.
Right. I wasn't, and I never will expect anything, but it was definitely hard to see your friends get it and see other people get it. And you're like, bro, I just had this last year, but what am I doing wrong? And I was just looking inward and I was being like, something I'm doing has to be wrong.
Okay.
But, there's obviously so many different factors to it that you don't know, or like politics and things like that. But like that specific season, I wasn't even getting any scholarships. Like fuck a nomination. Like I was going home with nothing. Yeah. I was not going home with shit. And Jersey was like the second to last city of the season. So I was like, if I don't get nominated, I'm not getting, I can't get it.
I'm like, I'm not going to the last city.
Right. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? Or it was like the third to last, like one of the last ones. So I was like, bro, this has to be me. And I was like, when you're at the point where like it has to happen, I have no other choice but to make this shit work. I have no I'm like, I went into the weekend, I was like, they're gonna have no choice but to pick me. Shit. I'm gonna make
with
it
that
a point.
Mentality,
right? And
like
you have to
mentality.
you have to switch that shit on in the most humble way possible.
Of course,
it's
but like you're
like, bro, I'm walking in the room like you have no choice but to pick me. Like, nigga, I'm fucking here. Like, I'm fucking here. So it was that kind of thing, and it just felt so rewarding that it paid off. Like my mindset paid off, and my hard work and my efforts. So fast forward, I was telling you I had to save for it. I went to LA for a month. I was living with like 12 people in a house. We had to make it fucking work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had a month to figure this shit out.
Okay.
We had to get an Airbnb. We had to split Ubers, all the things. When it came to like rehearsals and shit, it was like 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. for the most part, Monday through Sunday, 2 weeks straight.
Yo.
Yes. Now, not to say that I was dancing for that whole time every day, but I was outside. I was out at the studios the whole time. For the first couple days, it was everybody, and then or maybe like the first day, and then after that, we got a schedule of kind of who was in what piece, what were we doing. Okay. So I wouldn't be dancing all the time, but when it came to like the last week or like the last, pretty much the last week, it was like we were just on and it was 4 days in, I already wanted to go home. Not because I didn't want to do the show, okay, but because of how physically grueling it is to dance from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. And not even it's not even just about the steps. It's about this. Like, yeah, you gotta I have to be on. You have to be on all the time because you got casted for the show, but who are you in the room with? I'm fucking in a rehearsal with Marty Kudelka, Justin Timberlake's main choreographer through his whole fucking career. And I have to be on because this isn't only a rehearsal, but this is an audition. It's an opportunity for your career. They can't look at me and be like, oh, this bitch is lazy. She's tired. No, I have to be on. And that was the hard part about it, was being on the whole time, knowing that they're not looking at me just to make sure I have the steps for their piece. They're looking at me to see if they want to fucking work with me outside of this shit. Okay. So it's just being mindful of that, and living with a lot of people can get tiring and it can get just grueling. And I missed my dog. It was I missed my girlfriend. It was so much shit. The most insignificant shit of your home is I miss the wall. No, literally. I'm I miss my own bed. It was hot as fuck in LA. Our Airbnb didn't have air conditioning and it was August. No. It was August of LA. Our Airbnb didn't have air conditioning. Okay. So it was hard. We made it work, and I was grateful that I had somewhere to stay. I was just grateful to have a roof over my head. It wasn't too expensive. What I was paying, sorry, I just spit. What I was paying for the month was incomparable to what people pay for a month of rent. I was very, 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 very grateful for that. But there were obviously little things that were just hard, which is naturally to come with the experience. But yeah, it was just mentally and emotionally grueling. For example, if someone is oh, I want to make it to Monster Cast or whatever. Mm-hmm. Rather than just talent and hard work, what things what virtues you think a person has to have to actually not even just get to it, but actually do good in that month that you're in LA? Knowing you're a star. Okay. When I got there, I immediately started questioning my star quality, and it did nothing for me. Okay. Questioning your star quality does nothing for you. Whether you're dancing next to the best person in the room or the worst person in the room, you have to know who you are. And if you don't, you're going to crumble. And that's just the reality of it. No matter where you're at, or if you're already on the job, you still have to act you're proving yourself all the time. You never make it. There's no such thing as making it. Okay. Okay, yeah, I made it in the show. But but I didn't make it in my career.
Yeah,
it's never over. It's
grind.
never over. And it's you have to be on all the time, and that's the exhausting part about it. But, you know, if you're going into it being like, oh, I just want the scholarship so I can have free cities, you're not going to get the best out of your experience. And you might not get the show with that mentality. And it's not because you explicitly said that to the people who are casting you. It's because your energy, like, people can feel your energy. Like, people know when, especially the faculty at Monsters, they have good, what's it called? Like, they're good at telling when the vibes aren't genuine, when you really want it and when you really don't. So I think that if you're going into it with the wrong intentions, it's going to show, and it's going to show in the results that you get.
Okay.
So, but yeah, going back to the point of like, you have to know your star. You have to, and you have to be confident in your dancing abilities. And if you're not, then nobody else is going to be. They're not going to look at you and be like, "Oh my God, she's good," because you don't believe you're good. Why would I? Look, if you're not dancing like you think you're good, why am I going to look at you like you're good?
Facts.
Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
You have to know you're good. Even if you're walking out, you don't know one step. That's what I say in my own classes. I'm like, you need to walk. I never should see it here. You should never be able to tell in your face when you're unsure of yourself, because I'm immediately going to look away. They're immediately going to look to the next person and keep their eyes on that person because they're sure of themselves. So I think with Monsters 2, there's so many people in the room. You have to walk in knowing who you are and knowing that no matter if I don't care a fuck if there's 400 people in this room, you're going to fucking look at me because I'm a star.
Okay.
And when you switch in a humbling way, of course.
Of course, yeah. You'll be like,
right.
Bitch!
There's ways to go about it. You know what I'm
course.
saying? Obviously. But I think once you learn that and master that and kind of get a hold of that part of yourself, it's easier for them to see you and for you to be, you know, recognized and awarded for your talents.
It's like basically having like a Covey mentality.
Yeah.
What was like what's your the structure of your Covey mentality? Like the way you think, how if you can like portray it, be like the way you think, meaning like what qualities mentally you have to be able to make it where you have made it, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, like what did I have to do to get to where I am
mentally.
so far? Yeah.
So like for example, like for someone that like probably their mental state, we're not talking about depression or like anxiety, right? We're talking about like your mental state, like in your, not even in dance, bro, in your regular job or whatever. What kind of things they can take from, for example, your mentality that like, at least for your journey, it has worked through the point to work with this artist. So like, do you understand the question?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, good.
I know what you're saying. I think for me, like something I've had to learn is like how to be a good student. And I stress that in my classes as well now. And I'm still perfecting the ways that I am a student. And, you know, I think that being a good student is, sorry, I have an eyelash right here.
You're good, don't worry. Rudy cut.
But I think that being a good student is really important. And when you learn how to be a student and you learn how to learn, your product comes out so much better.
Okay.
So I think for me, like a mentality I've had is like, okay, I'm going to go into this class. One, I'm going to walk in like I'm the shit because I have to believe that I am, even if I don't feel like I am right now.
Okay.
You're going to believe that I am. Two, I'm going to force myself. If you notice, I don't know, like I will never put myself in the back purposely. I'm always going to stand in the middle. Okay. Not because I'm like, I'm the best in the room.
It's just so
it's more
you
so
can
for
push
me.
You.
Right. I'm more so like pushing myself like, okay, I'm in the front and the middle. Now I have no choice but to fucking pull up. Like even on the biggest scales, like on the monster stage when we're in class and like it's the final round and I'm like, now I've been doing it the other way the whole time. Now I have to face the audience. So now I have to switch my brain and now I'm in the middle and the front. I can't fuck up. So it's like, it's really me challenging myself.
Okay.
So it's like things like that where it's like putting yourself in situations where you might fold, but whether you do or you don't, it's going to be a growing experience and you're going to be better for it. You know what I'm saying? So like kind of, which I'm also still learning and want to do more of, taking more risks, not being afraid of like how you look, not looking,
get that credit card.
Right. Not that risk. Not that risky shit. But like, but I think that being in class and like, you know, not caring how you look, not feeling like, oh, I look stupid. Like I tell that to my students as well, where it's like, sometimes if you think you look stupid, you probably look really cool. Like you're probably doing it right if you feel like you look fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So just getting out of my head, I just like, I don't know, I just have a me versus me mentality.
Okay.
In general, just like it's me versus me in the mirror.
No one else.
You're good and you're good, but I'm here. and that's all I gotta say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my
Yeah.
talent will speak for itself.
Of course.
Type thing. I think that's what's
And also
gotten
your
me to
hard
where
work,
I'm at.
because you know you had put all this
Right.
work outside of the studio.
Right. I have the training to back it up. So I have that to fall back on.
Yeah.
So even if it's like, fuck, this might not be a class I'm fully confident in. Oh, wait, but I've trained in this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I have that. Like, let me pull from that.
Yeah.
And that's why training is so important. And you're never done. I'm going to be a student forever. And I don't want to ever lose that, no matter how much I'm choreographing now or like how many classes I teach. Like, I don't want to be known as like a choreographer yet. I want to be known as a student still.
Yeah.
I want to be in the same pool. I want to be auditioning and like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry for it. I want to be fighting to get opportunities. I want it all. I want all of that. You know what I'm saying? I want the hard work of it all. And it's never ending. So it's just like knowing you're always a student, knowing you're a star. It's you versus you, and not letting any steps or person come in between that.
Nice. And just to finish that like monster experience, did you have like any experience that you saw like someone that was like very, very good? Seeing like their mentality breaking down so much that they're actually like performing lower to the level they actually have?
It happened to a lot of us during the process.
Okay.
Like, it's hard when you feel like, you know, you walk into a Monsters convention for a weekend and you're like, okay, I'm one of the best in the room right now, but put all of the best together. What the fuck am I supposed to do now? And it's like, I was looking at the people next to me and I was like, am I supposed to be in here right now?
Okay.
It made me question myself, and I was like, these motherfuckers are so good. And it's like, we've all individually been in cities where the other people haven't been there, or I've never met some of these people or talked to them that much, or we're the best in our home studios in our hometowns. But then you put us all together and it's like, holy shit. Now it's like all the great, not saying that we're the best of the best ever in the world,
but like,
but
it's
Monsters picks the best of that season. That's what they
Yeah.
say. So it's like, you put all the best of the best together. What the fuck are we like? What the fuck? Like, but I'm the best of the best. But watching the process, and it was comforting because I was one of the people that was questioning my star quality. And,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like at some points I wasn't performing my best because of the circumstances that we were in. But, you know, that's the mental part of it. But I feel like it was happening to a lot of us, and seeing everybody, not everybody, but like a lot of us break down in similar ways. It was really comforting in a way. I've been like, okay, wait, you're really
I'm breaking, but
good.
you too, so we're good.
Right? Like, it's like, I look up to you, but you're also breaking down. Okay, cool. I'm cool to break down too.
Okay,
I think
gotcha.
that's the comforting, like weirdly comforting part about it. Is
Okay.
like being like, all right, this is hard for everyone. Nobody's having an easy time here, and nobody's having a good time all the time.
Okay.
And I wish I could go back and redo it a million times. And like, when you're in a situation like that, you don't realize how fast it's going, and like how much you're gonna wish you could go back to it. But being in it, it was definitely hard, and for everyone. And I think that, you know, watching people not be at their best at all times was, you know, like, it was comforting, but it was also like, okay, fuck, like, I gotta get it together too. Like, I gotta get my
Okay.
shit together. And it's also about like lifting each other up through the process. Like,
course.
we are like, our specific cast,
We're
we're all super close now. Like, and like, you know, you have your little things here and
Of
there where you
course,
might
like
not get along
everyone
all the
else, bro.
time.
Like-
Like, we're a bunch of young kids, like some of us teenagers. So it's like, not us, I'm not a teenager anymore, but some of them were like younger and like 16, and then you have like 25, 26-year-olds, or like 21-year-olds, or
Yeah.
20. Like, so it's like a big range of people.
Okay.
So, you know, finding that balance, but, you know, there was comfort in the hardships.
So
but
if you
also-
want to just like, if you have to take just one thing that you actually learned from that monster experience, what would you say was the
that's
one
hard.
thing that, like, if you can just take one thing for yourself and be like, okay, I learned this, what would that be?
don't ever show that you're tired.
Okay.
No matter how tired you are. You don't know how, it was so exhausting. Like, I don't even think I could put it into words. The first, like, our tech, or like the day before the first show, we were there until 3 a.m. rehearsing. And the show was that day. And we had already been rehearsing since morning.
Like, I mean, yeah.
And it's like, we just did it. And mind you, the show is an hour and a half, and you're dancing the whole time. You're not dancing behind an artist. You are the show.
You are the show.
The dance is the show. You're dancing. You're doing 4 or 5 pieces back to back, high energy, 2-minute piees. It's different. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
why
another
they say
type of
when you do the
shit.
monster show, you
You're
can do
ready.
anything. Like, and I'm like, bro, I'm indestructible now. But it's like the mindset you have to be in is like, no matter how tired you are, you're on a job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're working with the biggest fucking choreographers in the world right now. don't show that you're tired. You can't let
Not
them see
right
you're
now.
tired. Even now, like at Monsters Now, like I assisted last weekend. I was like, bro, I'm up here fucking exhausted. I can't show that. The kids behind me are looking at me to make sure I have the choreo. I can't fucking be exhausted and getting shit wrong up here. So it's that constant pressure on yourself of like being aware of how you're looking. What's your face doing? Is your face dropped? Pick it up. Like, make sure your eyes are wide. Like, you're like,
it's just
this,
crazy
you know?
for me. Like all the things that you're saying, like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And like, for me, like, I just put it in this way. I'm just seeing Jojo like in this fucking scenario. And she's just like, and then all this thing, like, bitch, you're tired. You don't gotta show
like,
it.
I'm like this, like
if you put a show and then like put like a fucking camera and put the back shit, it's like don't do this.
No, like in my head, I'm like, bro, wake up. Like literally, some of us were like, there were people that were falling asleep standing up.
Oh shit!
There was one of my friends was falling asleep standing up in rehearsal learning the combo.
Oh my!
That's how exhausted we were. Like it's wild shit. You're not eating as much.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna
so
say you were
there.
not
like nobody has time to
gonna...
fucking eat. We're dancing every 5 seconds. Like there's a picture of me like laid out in the studio, and I had my hood on my head. I was taking it. You have to take it out whenever you can. Like you don't have time to sleep. It's crazy. But I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Of course, yeah.
Like, I would do it again. Like all the exhaustion, the sadness, the tears, the frustration. Like. It's worth it. It was an amazing show.
Okay, nice.
It was amazing.
Changing just a little bit too. I'd like to talk about your teaching experience in New York. Like, how was that opportunity presented to you? Like the first time you were like, "Damn, I'm teaching in the city."
Yeah.
How was it?
Okay, so as we know, like we both attend Brick House.
Yes.
I've been there since 2019.
Okay.
So after like a year or so, when I was able to move up to the Generation X.
Yeah.
I was on Next first when I was younger. Then I moved up to X after like a year or so. I texted Kelly Peters, and I was like, hey Kelly, like I made this choreo up, like, you know, just I wanted to kind of teach it in X if I had the chance to. Because, you know, I'm the type of person, I'm like, closed mouths don't get fed.
What was that?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Closed mouths?
Closed mouths.
Oh, closed mouth?
Yeah.
Then
okay, like if you don't say you want something, you might not ever get it.
Of course.
So I'm like,
it's not gonna come to you.
Right. Like, and I'm very much aware of that. So I'm always gonna reach out if I want something, just to see. The worst somebody could say is no.
I mean, yeah.
And
facts.
that's not gonna be like, oh my god, he said no, I can't teach. Like,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
like, at least I tried.
Yeah.
But he ended up being like, yeah, like that choreo was good. He let me teach. And from there, he like started asking me to teach a little more, like a little more. Fast forward, I'm teaching a lot more, and then he ends up Brick House in general ends up asking me if I wanted a slot. Okay. I was like, oh my fucking gosh, I'm about to have a slot at Brick House. Like Brick House is like the biggest studio in New York. Like everybody comes to New York and is like, I want to dance at Brick House. Like,
yeah, but I just told you
people.
I was in my country. I used to watch the videos. Like I didn't even know exactly what was the studio back in my country. But
you're aggravated.
But it was like, oh yeah, I see the wall and the little house thing.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
It's
a lot of videos.
It's iconic as fuck. And like, yeah. So they were like, do you want to have a slot? I was like, fuck yeah, I'll have a slot. Like I'll move anything around for it. I did that for about a year. A little less than a year actually before I got my new slot. Okay. But that was going super well. I was building very slowly. It was building up. I got like one person sometimes, 2. I was happy if I got 5. Super happy if I got 10. Towards the end of my slot, I started to get more and more like 15, 20.
Yeah, I think the last class you taught was very like...
Yeah, like... that.
Congratulations.
And then, thank you. But like, that's when I was like, I reached out to Kelly and Gladys and the team again. And I was like, hey guys, because again, closed mouths don't get fed. So I was like,
of course.
Hey, like, do you guys have a later slot? Because the time that I had before was 3. Ooh. And that's really early.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, I'm either getting off at 3. Like I can't get there at 3. And I'm like, I get that. So I'm like, do you have like a later slot available? And he was like, yeah, like... Well, first they were like, you know what? I think you should keep your slot now because it's growing. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah. Give me another one.
I'll keep building. Right. And then I'm like a week later, he was like, you know what? We do have a spot. And I was like, okay, period.
Okay.
So then as soon as I started my 4:30 slot, it's been jumping. Like I haven't had less than like 16 people each time, like, and that's a lot for me. Like that might be a lot for people who sell out every week.
Building,
right? And like lately, I've been having like 25.
Wow.
My last class, I did a collab class with my girlfriend during my slot. We had 37 people.
That's a lot.
37 people in Brick House is crazy. That's almost sold out. Sold out at Brick House is 50. So we were close, you know, like, and I've taught
coming soon.
Right. And I'm like, and I see it coming. And like, that's something that I've always wanted and dreamt of for myself. I was able to sell out my Tuesday slot once.
Wow.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
But like,
how's that feeling though?
It's wild. Like, it's crazy to walk into a room and see so many bodies that are there for just you. Like, y'all literally paid to be here just for me. Like, y'all are here to learn my steps. The feeling of watching people want to learn your stuff and watching them do your steps is like
so rewarding. It's like I did this shit in my kitchen.
Right. You know I be doing all my shit in my kitchen. You know, seeing them videos of me in my fucking kitchen. I be getting. I
was watching
done.
You know, Fifi Burgers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching. He posted a video of like he literally doing a choreo, like a random choreo. You see in the video, right? He's in the living room, bro. Like he's like barefoot, whatever. He's doing some steps. Yeah. And then you like do like to the side, and then you see the choreo in the fucking Raul Alejandro fucking video. Uh-huh. So it's like, yo, it's just so crazy how something big can like you like actually doing in the living room.
Right.
Bro. It's like
it's mind blowing.
For people who are not around, they usually think like, oh, they go to a fancy studio and like let's find this shit and like it's like no. I did this in the bathroom.
In my fucking pajamas.
But I was like pooping.
Literally, I'd be on the train like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do next. And I make up all my choreo in my head. I don't do anything out loud first. So I do everything in my head. I usually sit on my bed, crisscross applesauce, sitting upright.
Okay.
I play the song a bunch of times and I make up a whole piece in my head.
Okay.
Then I'll do it out loud, see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll tweak what I need to tweak. Because, you know, sometimes you could you could be a little bit more adventurous in your head. Yeah. That's why I like to do it in my head, because I feel like in my head, I'm able to see more, you know, different pathways, and I'm more adventurous with the things I can do. Okay. In my head. So, you know, sometimes when I do it out loud, it's like, okay, this is too fucking fast, you know, or this is like, I don't think that this is going to be possible. This might be too hard, or, you know, this is too easy, or things like that. So that's just my personal process. I do want to work on like being able to do choreo on the spot more, which I do practice with XS a lot. Okay. So I've been getting better at that, but I do want to practice that more. But yeah, that's my kind of process. And it's just been such a blessing to be able to teach in New York. And now I was asked to, you know, have a slot at Bodega, which is the other big hip hop studio in New York. And I teach there bi-weekly, 6:30. So that's been amazing growing that. And it's just like being able to teach in two different communities in New York. It's a very different community that comes to Brick House and a very different community that goes to Bodega. Yeah, so New York is huge. It's huge, but you know, the dance community isn't that big, but there are different levels to it and layers. Yeah,
even like if you go to the Hive here, it's so
different. It's so different. And I've taught there before too, and it's like it's cool to see everywhere, and like people come out for your classes, or they're coming to the city, or they'll go to the Hive, or they'll go to wherever. Okay. Just to take you, and it's just such a special feeling. And I taught in Chicago. I was telling you about it in the car. Yeah, I taught in Chicago when I took a trip there, and I had a pretty good turnout. And I was like, bro, like, people came to my class. I don't even fucking live in this state, and I never taught here before. But yeah, it's cool. Like, I think that's why I fell in love with choreographing, because I remember the feeling of watching people do my steps. Like when I taught X for the first time, I was like, that was the first time I taught on a kind of bigger scale than just like in a home studio or like sessioning. And I was like, bro, this feeling is unbeatable. I need to feel it all the time. And that's why I just like have kind of really dove into like my choreographing.
Nice. Like what's something, how like have you changed as a teacher from the first class you taught, for example, in Brick House until today? What things like have you noticed about yourself and be like, yo, I was not doing this like probably the best way, and now like I'm like tweaking some stuff. What things have you learned from yourself as a teacher?
I think that I've definitely learned how to teach more in depth and way more clear. My classes are very clear. I teach very in depth, and you know, I think that comes with me taking so much class. When I take class, I'm not only taking class to learn the steps, I'm watching the teacher and how they teach. Okay. And I'm learning from that, because I know that I'm also teaching. So you know, the steps that they're teaching me are important for my training and my foundations and all the things and my knowledge, but also the style of how they teach might correlate to me and I might resonate with it. And I could take some of that and put it into my classes, and that might help. So I've kind of been pulling from everything I've learned and curated this kind of class where I'm confident in my teaching abilities, in the sense where I know I'm really thorough, and I'll go through everything very clear. Like I'll be like, all right, this next move, you're going to turn out your right foot. You're putting your arm here, then you're turning it. Like I'm like, I don't say it like that, like I'm explaining it very step by step by step. Like your fingers are like this, like, and I feel like I have this like tough love kind of way going about my classes where I'm like, y'all need to like, y'all need to start performing from now. Like I always say, like you should be on every time you walk into a room, not waiting for groups to turn it on. Like you should be on all the time because it shouldn't be like, I always say, like it shouldn't be like steps then add flavor. It should already be flavor and the steps are just coming with it and it should be combining. So it's like things like that where it's like I'm learning as I'm going and I'm learning what knowledge and what not to say and what to say in my own classes. But yeah, I'm blabbing, but I think that I've just learned that how to be more thorough and how to be more clear when teaching.
Nice. Now we were talking about like Brick House and your teaching experience. I would like to like ask you like what does like especially Kelly Peter represents in your dance career?
Oof. Kelly is like my second dad. I always say that. He's literally like my second dad. He's been a mentor for me for a long time now. And I think that training under him has made me a better dancer, a better person. I've learned so much. Foundationally, I've been way stronger training under him. And I think that him and Brick House, him, Gladys, everybody, like they brought me so much opportunity and not just like actual like working, which they have, but like just opportunity of like experiencing a new world. Like coming from Jersey, there's not much dance wise. Like I'm sure there's not much here when it comes to dance. There's no like major studios that can really, I don't know, that you can really elevate from like dance wise. So I knew that I had to go to New York if I wanted something more for myself. And being at Brick House has just showed me that there's literally a whole nother world to this shit and it is attainable. And I think that, again, like training under Kelly and being under his guidance, he's made me realize that I can manifest the things I want and it's possible for me. Even if it feels like it's not right now, it is. And it'll come if it's meant to. So yeah, he's just guided me through so much shit and given me so much opportunity and really like nurtured and poured into my teaching. And it means a lot.
Nice.
Love
who do you
him always.
like love?
Love.
Who do you look up to right now? Like dance wise or teaching wise?
Oh my gosh. Everyone. No, but I always say whenever people ask me that, I say my sister. Because she's the reason I started dancing. Because I'm the youngest, like I said. I do everything my siblings do. So, I always look up to her and look to her for guidance when I need like a question. Like, do I put this on my resume? Like, do I print out my resume? Do I go to this? What do I do? Is this good? It's a good thing. I look up to my friends. I look up to everyone. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to specify one person. Like, I don't know. Like,
I look up
to the people. Yeah. Like if you're a good person and you're able to be successful in dance, you inspire me. Like I even have in my bio, I'm like, I'm a human first. Like human first, human first, human first. So if you're a good person and you're doing the shit that I want to do and you're fucking raw, I'm inspired by you. Like that all just makes me inspired. Watching good people inspires me.
Now that you mentioned like your sister is like a huge influence in your life, how she got you to like start dancing?
Mm-hmm. I just literally saw her dancing and I was like, wait, I want to do that. And then I just tried it. I was like, wait, I can do that. Like same thing with like the DJing shit. Like it's just like I saw her do it and I was like, oh shit, like I want to do that too. And I kind of just followed her wherever I went. Like she started dancing at a studio. So then I started, actually way back when with the African dance, which I was telling you, I used to be like 3 years old on the side, like watching her spots and I would fill in for her when I was 3. Mm-hmm. 3 years old dancing in her spot. She was 7 at the time and I was dancing for her. So then when she wouldn't be there, I would just dance for her in her spot. Then she decided to go to a studio. So then I went to the studio. Then she decided to start dancing in New York. Then I started dancing in New York the year after. So it's just like kind of like a domino effect. And I kind of like just follow in her footsteps because,
And how's her like personality regarding you? She's like a protector type of person, or she's like, how is your relationship with her?
She's definitely always looking out and being like, all right, this might not be the best opportunity, or these people might not be genuine, or like you should do this or you shouldn't. And she helps me through things where I'm like, I'm unsure and things like that. And we go to each other when we need advice of like choreography, like, can you help me with this, or like, can I put this on you real quick to see if I like it, or like, things like that. Do you want to assist me? We give each other opportunities like that. We put in good word about each other to other people. And I think we just have a good also dynamic of like we're close in age.
Okay.
So we're able to
Understand
like, and we're
each
also
other?
so different.
Okay.
So it's like cool, like the contrast of like we're so different, but we're similar in different ways, and we can
Okay.
connect with different things. So yeah.
And like outside of dance, how's your relationship with her, like in the daily basis? You live together?
Yeah. I live with my parents and my siblings still.
Okay,
We all
good.
still
So
live
like in the regular basis, something that is not dance wise, like are you very close? Is she just like your best friend? Or like for example, me, right? I have a sister, that's my only sister. Like I don't have anyone else. But my relationship with her is like amazing, good, but I usually don't share like my personal
Yeah.
things. Like is this your case, or you do like different with her? Like you actually like you're like bitch.
No, we're like that. We're like, girl, like I just heard this fucking tea. Like, guess what? Like we're besties. We definitely can be besties, but we definitely can be enemies in front of me sometimes.
Okay.
Like, it's a balance, you know? And like also with having a sister in the same industry as you, it can get rough and it can get hard. But at the end of the day, we are very bestie like and have our moments where we're like, oh bitch, like you or like look, like I just heard this, like come over here. Like we go to each other's room and just like stare at each other or sit in the room. So we can be close at times. We can also be like, get away from me at other times. Yeah.
Nice. Like what's your background ethnicity wise? Is that how you ask?
Yeah, I think so. I'm Black and Middle Eastern.
Okay.
So my mom's Middle Eastern, my dad's Black.
And then where like your parents, did they come to the country here, or they were born here, or how was that?
So my dad was born here.
Okay.
Actually in Jersey. My mom was born in Abu Dhabi, which is in the Middle East.
Okay.
She's from Oman though, which is near Dubai.
Okay.
She then was sent to boarding school, I think, in England.
Okay.
So she's like has a British accent, but she's also like Omani. So, but my dad was in the military. So he was in the Air Force and he was stationed in Oman. So they met. And it's funny, they actually met at a party where my mom was DJing.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Yeah, mind you, my mom's like a 5-foot hijabi woman. Like she's like the most typical Arab lady ever. And she was DJing this party and my dad came, and if I'm getting the story right, I don't know. But I think he thought he was DJing, and then she like played his favorite song. It might be reversed, I don't know.
Okay.
And then he was like, wait, that's my favorite song. And she's like, no, this is my favorite song. And then like dance the night away, and like it was history. Like, typical like bullshit, like
high school musical type of shit.
It's like so fucking cliche, but I'm like, period. At least I was the result of that.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's how they met, and they got married pretty quick.
Okay.
And stuff like that, and like had us.
And like culturally, did you like growing up? Did you have like any, how you call that? Like any
religion?
Contradictions and stuff that? Because like they come from different cultures, right?
Yeah. So my dad's family's Catholic, my mom's Muslim.
Okay.
So my dad converted to Islam when he was 14.
Wow.
So we grew up practicing Islam.
Okay.
Me growing up thinking, not, how do I say this without it being controversial? I think that when you grow up in a very religious household, you can think that some things are not okay.
Okay.
And, I'm a lesbian.
Okay.
I am expressive with the way I talk, with the way
course.
I dress very clearly. Some things my family might not agree with.
Of course.
Now, when I was younger, I used to think that certain things were wrong, certain things were right.
Okay.
As we grew up, I realized, wait, I can be my own person and do whatever the fuck I want when it comes to myself and my sexuality.
Of course.
And, who I surround myself with, where I get my inspirations from, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
My parents, as time went on, also became more progressive. And I think that after my mom moved here, she had to, when you live somewhere your whole life and you're experiencing something your whole life in a different country, it's like a different world.
Yeah.
Especially in Oman, it's very, it's just a different world. I've been there and it's just like different. Like you can't be gay there. Like you can't do certain things there. Like, or you'll get like in jail. Like things like that where it's like, but you're growing up there, you're thinking that's your whole life. Then you randomly move to America. It's like you have to unlearn so much shit.
Okay.
And relearn things. And my mom's still unlearning and relearning, but she makes the effort. And, my parents have never made me feel like I'm out of the ordinary or never like, they've never not accepted me. They've always accepted me like I didn't even come out to them. They were kind of just like, we know you're gay and like it's fine. like I was running around with a fucking a girl and they were like, it's literally fine. Like you don't have to like hide.
Such nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, it was so relieving because I literally thought I was gonna be shunned. I thought I was gonna fucking get kicked out. Yeah, because like obviously, and my parents have never explicitly said to me like, if you're gay, you're done. Like it's more of a thing where it's like I've grown up religious and like
you understand that certain type of stuff don't go with the religion, so you're like, oh.
And people often correlate, or what I've experienced, you know, like with my past, it's always been like religion always correlates with like anti-gayness, or like, you know, things like that. All the things that I kind of am is kind of against some people's religions and the things that I stand for. So I was super scared with my parents' reaction when they'd find out that I liked girls, but they were so supportive. And my mom now is like the biggest fucking pride advocate ever. Like she wears like all her shirts are like pride t-shirts. It's like you're so all loved. So like it's so cute, and it's like so nice to see because I'm like, thank God. And it makes me feel so blessed because I know some people just don't have that experience.
And also like in the closet it's good to like notice because she's like knowing her background, she's like making an effort,
right? And that's what means so much to me because I'm like, bro, like you're like, if like her like immediate like sisters and stuff, like obviously it's a different time, so they're more progressive and they've gone with the times, but like her older family, like they can't come to my wedding. They didn't think I'm fucking crazy being gay. So it's like the fact that you have, like you said, like made an effort to you know, it's your kid. So my parents are the type of people where it's like, you're my kid. Like, I'm not going to ever not love you for anything. Like, I'm going to love you no matter what. Like, that's all I'll never understand is like people not loving their kids because of shit like that. It's like, it's out of my control. I didn't choose to be a lesbian. I just fucking love girls. Like, and you know what I'm saying?
How do you like came to that conclusion by yourself? Like, what was that process like? Oh shit, like you were like in school and then you were like, this bitch. I'm like, how was it?
Well, yes. No, but I was on, you know, I was on a dance team and there would obviously be girls where I was like, this feels different. Like, I don't know what I'm feeling right now, but this isn't just like a friend thing. Then, and I was in denial about shit. Every time I felt like a little gay feeling peeking out, I'd be like, no.
You're like, not gay. Get out the devil.
Put it down.
Get out the devil for me.
Literally, I was like, no, Jojo, like you can't be gay. Like, my heart would, like, I remember this feeling so bad. Like my heart would sink every time I felt something about a girl. I was like, bro, my heart's sinking, and I don't know what to do about it. And then when I got older, I realized that like, okay, I could just sneak around and be gay. And like I experimented with my first girl. Not experimented. Let me not say she wasn't an experiment, but it was my first.
I mean, like you were. Yeah, of course you were probably young, and you were both experimenting like life.
Right. I was still like, she was a very experienced gay at a young age. But like I had never been with a girl before.
You were
like,
the rookie.
So literally, I was the biggest rookie.
You're like, teach me,
right?
Teach me your ways.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that I like girls. So I want to see where this goes. I just want to see what happens. And I knew I like girls, but I didn't know how to fully go about it. And like it didn't feel completely right because my parents didn't know. And it felt like, you know, if it's a part of me, like being gay is me. That's who I am. Like it's not because like, oh, my whole personality is being gay, but it's like, no, like
it's that's who you are.
I like I'm gay.
Pussy.
Like I can't like
I love pussy.
Right. Right. My girlfriends. Yeah. But I don't know, like it's just, I didn't feel like I want my family to be a part of things that I love and a part of parts and no parts of me. I don't want to ever have to sneak around about such a major part of yourself too. Of course. So that was hard. Yeah, but then they were basically dragging me out the closet and they were basically like, yeah, bitch, we know, like, and it's fine. Like, I was like, okay, period. It's not gonna be gay in the open.
And then like, what was the conversation or thoughts of your sister? Whenever she knew, she
knew before my parents. Like my siblings
of course.
knew.
Probably,
yeah, they don't give a fuck. Like that, my siblings don't give a fuck. They're supportive. And my sister was just telling me to be careful with the specific person that I was fucking with, but she always like will warn me about shit like that. You know, I'll learn later on that she was right.
She always she seems to have like this energy.
Literally about everyone I fucked with, like that wasn't like a good person. She was like, nah, like you need to be careful, like da da da. And like I never listened. But sometimes you have to learn things for yourself. No, seriously. But honestly, I'm glad I learned the lessons I did. You know, some things I'm like, damn, like why did I have to learn it this way? But other things I'm like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. And if I hadn't experienced what I have experienced, then I wouldn't be where I am and I wouldn't be able to function in the relationship I am now. Because right now I'm like in like the most perfect relationship with the most perfect woman, and I'm just like so blessed to have her. She's everything that I've ever wanted in a person, and I feel like she doesn't deserve the version of me that I was even a year ago.
Okay.
And if I didn't experience the shit that I have before her, I wouldn't be able to give her the version that I am now,
Of course.
which is the one she deserves.
So you had like bad experiences before in relationships?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. I mean, who doesn't? But like
imagine I'm like, I didn't.
I'm like, good for you, because I have enough for both of us. But like fucking with girls is not for the fucking weak. Like being a woman-loving woman is not for the weak.
Wait, did you actually dated sometimes a boy or never?
I've never dated a boy. I've only fucked around with guys, talked to guys here and there, but like I've never like.
But like from your experience, like what would you say was the main difference between like hanging around with a boy and like with a girl?
Emotion. Boys tend to be way less emotional.
Yeah,
or like y'all be emotional, but you don't like to show it. Especially not to a girl you're not serious with. So it was very much like lack of emotion. But girls, you can't hide that shit. We be sticking up on our periods. Like, it's a true thing. Like, I be sticking up with my girlfriend. Like, and it's hell. Like, it's fucking hell.
Don't look at me.
Right. Like, the emotions are at an all-time high because it's just hella estrogen coming at each other.
Okay.
But like guys, like I feel like guys just have less emotion. So that's like the main difference, I feel like. But the positive of that is that I feel like it's easier to be way more in tune with each other's emotions.
You're more understandable.
Because you're on the same wavelength. Yeah, just for me. Obviously not everybody's a fucking gay, but like everything's different for everyone. But for me, it's just so much smoother because I don't know. We're just on the same page most of the time because we feel similarly.
Okay.
And
what's like the worst experience you have like dating someone? She's like, don't get me started.
Oh Lord. What isn't the worst experience I've had dating someone? I feel like everybody before my current girlfriend is just like a shitty. And I haven't even been with that many people, seriously. But like the people that like, I don't even know what I can say. But yeah, like the people I fuck with before my girlfriend are just shitty.
Okay.
Like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like it's just shitty. But I'm glad that I went through it because.
But like meaning like do you think you have like you're part of responsibility?
For sure.
Like,
I mean, I definitely played a role in everything. I'm not saying I'm fully innocent, but I know when I'm manipulated and I know when like certain shit is just fucked up.
So you think like, I mean, now you're different, but like by the time you think like you were able to be manipulated like easily or something like that, you didn't have like that vibe check on all the time?
Right. No, for sure. I definitely, because like in high school, I fucked with a girl for the first time. It wasn't like we were girlfriend, but it was more so just like, we both were trying each other out. Didn't work out. It wasn't long. Then after that, I hadn't been with anyone seriously until I was in college. So like I had been fucking with girls or talking to girls here and there, but I hadn't been with anyone seriously. And then I got into a very serious relationship. Mm-hmm. So, I was very new. I never had a girlfriend before. Like I never had a girlfriend ever. So there were a lot of things that were new to me that I wasn't aware of. I didn't know how to function in a relationship with a girl yet. Okay. And I feel like I have always been with people that have experienced more than me. Okay. So it's easy for you to be manipulated when you're the rookie in the situation. Yeah. Like I'm in the situation, I'm thinking whatever's happening is fine, but it's really me being manipulated and like fucked over. But I don't realize that because I'm more vulnerable because I'm in a position to be. Okay. And I think, with my girlfriend now, we've both kind of had similar experiences in life and I think it's a little fucked up to say, but you kind of have to be with someone that's on your level. Okay. Like I've always fucked with people that are not really like, this sounds so bad. But it's good. Not necessarily like not on my level, but like we're just not on the same points in life.
Yeah, you're not on the same page.
They're just not in the same like mental space as me, and that's fine. But it's just like it doesn't work. Yeah. Like we're not doing the same things, or like you don't have your best interest out for me. Like
and also like as you grow up, like it's very important where you're going. Like I had a cousin, he had like a relationship, and then he was like, "Listen, bro, I had to like cut her off because like he just said it like." She was not like smart enough, right? Meaning like he was not stating like, "Oh, I'm a genius." Yeah, but it's like, yo, like there's some things like I would like to talk to my partner about some things, right? And be able to be understood or like,
and that's normal.
And then like you got like this person not being on the same level of matureness or whatever. So I get you what you say.
Yeah, or even like being ambitious. Like I've always wanted to be with somebody that was as ambitious as me and wanted things for me the same way I want it for them. Okay. And like that's why like my current girlfriend is literally perfect. Like, and we've been together for like almost a year now. Okay. So it's like I think I would see red flags by now, but she's literally a walking green flag. And like, we want the best for each other. And it's so clear. Like, and it's in little things. We're both dancers. And I told myself I would never fuck with a dancer. But here I am. And it you know,
never say never.
I know, but everything's so in line with her. But like, yeah, it's like little things I notice where like I'm dancing and she'll hype me up, or when we do dance together, you can feel the energy. Like it's just different. It's just super. It's way different, and it feels right. And like I was saying before, like we've experienced similar things. We're the same age. You know, she's not like super older than me, which I always end up with, or like we're like literally at the same point in life. So we're helping each other through it, through like the traumas we've experienced, and we're healing each other through, you know, our own experiences, and we, you know, I might know something better than she does and vice versa. But we help each other understand it, and there's not ever any judgment for it. And I just she's just perfect. I love you, Jalen. I have her name on my ring right now. So yeah, I'm obsessed with her.
I'm like, that's where the savings are going.
Right. No, she actually got me this though.
I'm
so
kidding,
it's okay.
right? Just kidding.
It's okay. It's okay.
She's like, what's her savings?
Everything else is where the savings are going.
Very good.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's definitely been a rough journey figuring out what I do want and don't want in a relationship. And I unfortunately had to experience a lot of bullshit to figure out what I didn't want. So
I think like I was just, I mean, not just, but like one of the episodes, I was just like explaining my like view on relationships. Like, real, I rather fuck up when I'm like young and like good, like I'm not saying a kid, right? But like I'm saying like bad relationship or whatever, because I wouldn't like to marry someone and like know like they're not the person or having a bad experience after like 20 years.
Right.
I'd rather just like fuck up right now, like sneaker link.
So you have to do that shit.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I can learn my lesson and be like, I'd rather fuck up right now and not like fuck up when I'm like, I'm married with like 3 kids and then like I got a divorce and I gotta pay child support.
Right. No, that's literally so true. Because like whenever I was like, I had moments like of being single before being with my girlfriend now, it was like I was feral. And it wasn't good. You know, like you have those feral moments where like you're on the dating apps and you're doing all that bullshit. And you're meeting up with people you shouldn't. But I didn't have to do that. But like I did all of that and I regret a lot of it. But also a part of me is like, you know what? I'm glad I had that little like feral moment and just got it. I'm done with it. And now I'm able to like be with somebody and be secure and having a future with them.
And not having that curiosity. What if like I can,
like I didn't, or like did I not experience life enough, or did I not do this enough? Not saying that you have to go be a hoe. Like you don't ever have to go be a hoe.
Don't
to, like,
take
be
the fucking words, okay?
Right. You don't have to be a hoe to have a good relationship.
Jojo said.
I'm like, no, I didn't. But no, I definitely, for me, I think that I got into a serious relationship for so long, so young, that it fucked with like, I don't know, my sense of self. I didn't know who I was.
Exactly.
And it's hard to find yourself in a toxic relationship. Like you're fucked up half the time. And the person was older than me, so it was just hard. I was trying to navigate life. I was trying to navigate dance. And I was trying to navigate myself, and I didn't know who I was. And I didn't after that, I didn't want to ever let myself lose. I didn't want to ever lose myself in another person ever again. I didn't want to ever lose myself while trying to lift somebody up so much and they're not giving me shit. Because I was just down here
giving,
and I was
giving.
It's just like the give is hard. And that's not just in like a relationship. That's just any relationship. Platonic,
any human
romantic, you know, family, friend. Like it's hard to give and not get shit back. It's draining. And I think I didn't ever want to experience that again. And it made me like, okay, I'm gonna be feral real quick just to see how it feels, because I've never done it before. And I was like, wait, I don't like this either. So I was like, let me just stop. Let me just stop everything. And that's when it was like, me and my girlfriend have been friends for like 2 years or so. So it's like, you know, in passing, we weren't really ever super close.
We might have just
flirted here and there. Like it was like subtle flirting, like whenever we were both single, but it was like nothing crazy. Never cheated on our partners or anything like that. But it was the type of thing where it was like, okay, we ended up both being single at the same time. Finally,
the timing.
And we were like, wait, you're
good.
Fine as fuck, and she was like, wait, you're fine as fuck, and I was like, okay, wait, we're both fine. So I was like, all right, let's just see what happens. And then it ended up being something so beautiful. So it's just like things. Waiting for things to align the way they're supposed to, not forcing anything into it.
I actually think also like this type of like going this like moment of your life whenever you're going from here to there to this person also, like it actually tells you a lot about your personality. Usually you're like, because I experienced that too. Like I had a very bad breakup, And then I ended up going here and there and and then I was like, no, like I was trying to feel
The void, yeah.
and also like there was something empty in me. Like, did you recognize some of these patterns in yourself? Also,
Yeah.
like whenever you were like at home and you're like by yourself, you're like, damn, bro, I think I'm doing this because of this. Like, did you have this moment or you never?
For sure. I think that during my little hoe phase here and there, I would have realized that I am missing something in myself, because no matter how many people I try to pour into, it's not going to feel good because I'm not pouring into myself ever. I don't know who I am. I'm trying to find myself in other people, but that was my problem from the start. So why am I still trying to do that shit?
Okay.
So I had to take a step back and be like, wait, I need to figure out who the fuck I am. And people will come if they're going to come. And if they don't, they don't. But the right person will come when it's time. Because trying to find who you are while fucking with other people and like just meaningless ass hookups and connections, it's just stupid. And it doesn't benefit you at all, especially being a creative. Like, it fucks with you in all the ways and you don't think shit is connected, but it is. So yeah, I definitely had moments where I was just in my room like, why am I still unhappy? Like, I have all this attention and I'm like, you know, like I'm doing this, that, and the third, and I'm clubbing and I'm having fun, but it's like I'm still unhappy, and it's because of me. It's not because of anybody else.
Okay.
You know, like, it takes two to tango in a situation, and I was definitely fucking dancing a lot. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
She was just like
I was like shimmying everywhere, but like, you know, I had to realize that, you know, Jojo, take a step back.
Okay.
What do you need to work on as a person for yourself? What do you need to do for yourself to make yourself feel good?
Okay.
Not for the validation of other people. Or, you know, things like that.
Nice. We're getting to the final moments. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. But usually I like to have this little section where I feel like it's very important to talk about mental health. Just because, I mean, it's important, right? I think like there's some people, like every guest I bring here, there's a lot of people who look up to like the person who is sitting on that chair, right? Or if you want to like look at me, like you feel me, but
right,
like, but what I mean is like, because for example, you're getting this so many opportunities, right? That like other people will actually want, or like Jojo is doing this or this and that. But at the end of the day, we're all humans. Like with all this conversation, like, I can tell like you're just also a person. It's like, oh, Jojo's doing this and this and that, but it's like, yo, like she's figuring it out too, right? So have you have any personal type of experience with mental health, or any person that like you an experience with someone that you know there's like, oh shit, like mental health is important. It can be like depression, anxiety, even like how you say that, imposter syndrome, all this type of stuff. Have you ever had like any type of experience like this?
For sure. I think that, I mean, thankfully, and I'm so blessed that I've never like been diagnosed or like felt like I was truly like depressed.
Okay.
I definitely get anxious, but I don't think I've like have anxiety. So like I'm blessed with that I'm not like chronically, you know, have anything. But you know, the closest I felt to ever being depressed was probably when I couldn't dance for like a month and a half because I had surgery, which was not because anything was wrong with me. I just donated my kidney for my dad. So
shit.
Yeah, it was cool. I have one kidney, so that's
tell me about it, Wiggy. Tell me about it.
I always bring this up because it's like, I mean, why shouldn't I? But yeah, so basically my dad has kind of been sick my whole life.
Okay.
He has always something fucking wrong with him.
Okay.
He's had a heart attack before. He's had strokes. So, you know, I've witnessed it all. It's definitely traumatic to witness your dad going through so many health crises and feeling like he might be gone the next day or like things like that. So he ended up getting cancer in one of his kidneys. Now you only need one kidney to live. Yeah. So that was, all right, just take out the kidney and be done.
Okay.
Then the only kidney he had left only started working at like 11%, 10%. So it was like, if that kidney gives out, you're going to die. That's just what it does. So he ended up having to go on dialysis, which is basically like he had no kidneys. So when you don't have kidneys, you obviously can't pee. So when you're on dialysis, you basically go like, he went Monday through Friday, and you basically go from like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., which is what he did. And you just get everything drained from you because you can't pee. So you just go and like get your shit drained out. And you can't work. Like, it's super draining, like obviously literally and figuratively. Like, you can't do shit. Like, it's tiring. It's just, and eventually you can't be on dialysis forever. Like, you're going to end up dying after a while and after like years and years and years, but nobody wants to be on dialysis for years. So we were searching and searching for a kidney donor. We obviously all wanted to try. There's a lot of things that go into it. Like, if you're overweight, you can't be depressed or have any like history of mental illness. Like, cause may God forbid, like, this sounds so terrible, but it's a literal thing. Like, if you like want to, you know, take your life or anything like that.
Of course.
Now they don't have a donor, which sounds so terrible and insensitive, but like they have to make sure they have all the boxes checked.
Okay, of course.
Just different things like that. Any other health issues? I have a clean slate apparently because I was able to do it.
Okay.
I was a fine weight. I don't have any history of mental health issues, serious ones, or any health issues at all.
Okay.
Thankfully, God bless.
Yes.
So I was able to do it. Now I'm not, you have to be the same blood type as the recipient to be able to do it directly. And I wasn't. So we had to do we had to do a kidney exchange program.
Okay.
So basically I gave the kidney to another person who needed a kidney. So my dad was able to get somebody else's kidney.
Got
So I
you.
actually saved like 3 lives or 2 lives.
Oh,
so
my
the woman whose kidney I was able to give was a mom with a 3-year-old, and she wrote me a letter and she was like, she was like, thank you for like giving me a new chance at life. I don't know if that's exactly what she said, but this is along the line. She was like, I have a son and he would have had to been an orphan if you didn't like give me your kidney. Yeah, it's heavy, but like it's crazy.
It's life, bro. It's life.
And like I didn't realize the impact it had. Like I didn't realize like what it really meant. Like I gave my dad a new life. Yeah. And I gave this woman a new life. And I gave gave her son a mom. Like without me, like everybody would be dead. Like which sounds so cryptic, but like eventually it's true. And it's just like I'm fucking 20, 21 years old. Like just all right, just take my kidney. Like I ain't got shit to lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I would never hesitate to help my family members. It's my dad. Like, you need a fucking lung, I'm gonna give it to you. You need my foot, take it. Like it's family, so it's like, you know what, like things like that. I didn't even hesitate. Like if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And the surgery actually went terribly.
No way.
I died.
What?
I had to be resuscitated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bit down on the breathing tube, so fluid went into my lungs, and I stopped breathing, and I aspirated. So then I had to be resuscitated. Died might have been dramatic, but essentially if you had to be resuscitated, then you're dead, you died. So
did you have like, I'm very curious, bro, but like whenever you're in that spot, like I've heard like a lot of things like, you see a light or whatever, you
I don't remember shit.
Something, you just like God, sleep.
I don't remember shit. I literally only remember going into the surgery room or whatever it's called. Yeah, and then they made me they made me count down, or they were asking me about my favorite songs, and that's the last thing I remember. Yeah, or no, like they were just, how they'd be counting down and shit, but they were just talking to me before the anesthesia knocked me out. Okay. And then I just remember waking up. I don't remember anything in between, which I'm so lucky. I think if I remembered anything, I'd be very traumatized. I mean, the thought of it is traumatizing enough, but if I remembered biting down on the breathing tube, I think I would have been traumatized for life. Now, I bit down on the breathing tube, had to be resuscitated, yada, yada, yada. They obviously had to put another breathing tube down my neck. I bit down and I remember biting down on it again. Because when you're awake, I think that they didn't give me enough anesthesia. That's what my parents think, that they like fucked up. Okay. Or something like that. Because when you're awake and there's a breathing tube down your throat, the first thing you're going to do is like, what the fuck is in my throat? Like you're going to try to
get it out,
you know what I'm saying? But they were saying that it's a common thing that happens with young people.
Common, people die.
I'm like, but how have you not figured out a better way so that people don't almost die during surgery? They're like, yeah, it happens to young people a lot. I'm like, why is there not a better way? Wow. But I'm like, I didn't never understood that, but I didn't dive into it. Okay. No lawsuit happened. But like, yeah, so then I bit down it again when they were taking it out because I was a little bit awake. And hearing that, I was like, what the fuck? Because the surgery was only supposed to be like an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I woke up at 4:00. And the nurses were saying goodnight to each other. And I was like, wait, why are they saying goodnight? So I went into surgery at 7:30 in the morning. So I was like, why are they saying goodnight? Like, it's supposed to be 10 a.m. right now. I was like, is that something they just say to each other? Yeah, it was long. So I was like, damn. But then I ended up being fine. My throat was really scratched up. And I couldn't breathe that well for a little bit. Your dad? Yeah, my dad's good. He didn't have surgery for a little while after that, because it wasn't coming directly from me. Okay. But the woman who I had, I gave the kidney to, had surgery the same day. Okay. I think. So it was pretty cool. Like when I got out of surgery, she was already out of surgery, I think too. Okay. Or she was like already in surgery, so it was cool. Like my kidney is just traveling. Oh, that's crazy. Like the sisterhood of the traveling.
Then like what things changed from your lifestyle? Like from having just one kidney? You feel like any difference in your body?
Yeah, I like for some reason have a smaller appetite. Like low key, it gave me a tummy tuck. So period. Period. I'm skinnier. No, but yeah, after I literally felt like reborn. Like after almost dying, I was like, oh my god, I'm a new person. Like I kind of had that little moment.
Okay.
I had a newborn like love for life. I was like, bro, like I could have died.
Like
I could have not died from a surgery that I didn't have to do.
Of course.
Like it was a surgery that
it was voluntary.
It wasn't. Yeah, I could have died, and that was one of my biggest fears going into it.
Okay.
Was what happened. That was my biggest fear.
Okay.
And it happened to me, and I was like, oh my fucking gosh. But yeah, after that, I was kind of like reborn. I was like, oh my god, but I couldn't dance for 4 to 6 weeks, so I was broken up about that because I'd never not danced for that long. So that was like, that's why I say that was the closest I've ever felt to depressed, because I just felt stuck. But it's obviously not even comparing to the scale of people who are genuinely depressed.
I mean, yeah, of course, everyone's journey is different, though. But
right, everybody's
that's
different.
your experience.
Yeah, but experiencing that was tough for
your
me.
relationship with your dad, like, change it after the surgery? Like, you got, like, a little bit more closer?
No, it kind of stayed the same.
It's like this,
I feel like I don't take it really seriously for some reason, which I probably should. And people are like, Jojo, you literally almost died.
Do you feel like you're numb to, like, this type of situations? Yeah. Just because you're so used to it with, like, because you mentioned your dad is, like...
Yeah, that could possibly be why. I'm honestly genuinely not an emotional person when it comes to my family. That's why when you ask me about like my relationships with my family, like I love my family, but I'm just not emotional when it comes to family relationships. Like I don't like to hug or say I love you a lot. It's not because I don't love them. It's just something with me, which maybe I need therapy. How about that?
I probably,
but you know the thing, I probably need therapy.
Advise it for everyone though.
Yeah, everybody needs therapy, but like, you know, it's just things like, it's just personal things for me. But yeah, my relationship with my dad didn't really change. It's kind of the same. Me and my dad are very similar, so it was cool. Like we ended up doing we spoke on a panel about it, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, and there's not really anything that's happened to me. I just pee a lot more because I have one kidney, so I have to pee a lot. After you get a kidney taken out, you get false kidney pain. So sometimes I'll have sharp pains back here, but there's no kidney there. Okay. It's weird. So yeah, just things like that. But other than that, life is normal.
Bluetooth pain.
Right. Literally somewhere in the world. I don't know where she is now, but
okay, good. So last part of the of the podcast, right? It's just this section where I actually throw questions to you. It can be like short answers or like long answers, however you want to. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So I'm like, what's your sign? Okay.
Capricorn.
I'm like, okay. Can you share a mistake or a failure that ultimately led to a positive growth or valuable lesson in your life?
Oh, that's a deep one. I mean, this is only the one that came to my brain. But I recently went to an audition, and it was like a very girly audition. It was a lot of twerking. It was for a major artist, and I showed up just dressing how I usually dress in like my baggy clothes, just because I didn't want to conform to something that I'm not.
Okay.
And I know that I have I'm able to do choreo if I need to do choreo, and I'll buckle down and do whatever I need to do. I surprisingly made it to the second round. I got a call back. The whole dance was like fucking twerking, which I don't do.
Okay.
I'm sure you could tell by my attire, but he cut me because I couldn't twerk.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you're right. Like, I wasn't even hurt by that. I was like, you're right. Like, but like from that, I was like, wait, he's right. And like, dang, I didn't get the job. But like, I probably wouldn't have wanted to get that job because that's just not me. Like, it doesn't look like something I'd be on. Also, compared to the people in the room, like, I know I'm not about to book this, but it's a learning experience.
Okay.
But he was like, you're so great, and you just have to work on this. And I was like, you know what, you're right. And it was, I probably wore the wrong thing, and it was probably not, a room that I would normally be in. It wasn't in my comfort zone, and it was probably a mistake of what I was wearing and that I didn't know how to twerk good enough for the job. But I'm glad that it went the way it did because it opened my eyes to like what I might have to do for the next audition, and it gave an opportunity to be seen for my quality of dancing. And like, it was the type of thing where it's like I made it to the second round because he had no choice but to, because I can dance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't twerk for the job, like ultimately, but like I could dance. So it was just eye-opening.
Nice.
I guess if that answers it.
This is a very wide one, but what's been on your mind lately?
Making it. I just want to succeed. I want to make it. I want to work. That's really it.
Nice. What's something that always brings a smile to your face?
My girlfriend, my dog, my friends and family occasionally.
Okay. Well, are there any personal development goals you're currently working on?
Like we were talking about before, I definitely want to save more.
Mm-hmm.
I want my classes to grow even more. One of my goals is like to sell out one of my classes soon. Personally, I don't know. I just want to keep growing and being in tune with like my emotions. I want to be more aware of how I'm treating people and how I say things and how they might affect people. I just want to make sure I'm like being the best version of myself for everyone. So I guess just constantly like trying to evolve in different ways with that. So yeah.
Nice. What values are more important for the people you surround yourself for?
I think that it's important for the people I'm around to be ambitious. Like I was saying before, I want ambitious people around me. I want people who want to see me win as much as I want to see them win. I want people who just care. I want genuine good people around me. And there's not much more or less to that. I just want good people. I just want to see that you're a good person and you're genuine. And if you are that, then I could surround myself with you. And if you aren't, then I'll wash my hands of you. And that's it.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What do you fear?
Ladybugs. Which is like a short answer. Long answer,
You're
I
good.
fear if we're being like literal and like figurative or whatever. But like, yeah, I do have a fear of ladybugs, fun fact. But on a serious note, I do fear not making it. Like I want to make it and I fear not making it. And it's like in my mind, I'm like, I have no choice but to make it. Like I have to, and it's going to happen because I have to. What else am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like this is my life. But there's always that fear in the back of your head where you're like, what if this shit isn't going to work out? What if this shit hits the fan? But it's like you can't let yourself have those thoughts. So I try to like block it out,
What's your definition of success?
It's not even like booking a big job. It's just, I don't know. I feel like that's hard. Because I was just listening to people talk about like what it means to make it. Because I feel like there's no such thing as like making it or having the ultimate success. Because there's always more to get.
Okay.
My idea of success. Maybe just being in a room. Because like I was saying when I was in LA, I was kind of questioning my star quality being in a room with all the best people. So maybe like being in a room on a big job with all the best people in the room and knowing in my heart that I do belong there. Because I feel like I still, when I do get on set for different things or like I'm in a room in a rehearsal with really good people, myself, I still tend to like look inward and I'm like, wait, am I meant to be here? So maybe a form of success, not the ultimate success, but a form of it can come in that form of like, okay, wait, I'm good enough to be here too,
Yeah.
So maybe that.
Nice. What's the worst advice someone gave you?
I don't think anyone's ever given me bad advice. Not that I remember. I mean, usually if there is bad advice that I've gotten, I probably just like throw it out.
Okay. What's the best advice someone gave you?
Remembering I'm a star. Just telling me to remember I'm a star and to like not hide and just be who I am and not. It sounds also like basic, but I think that once I realized I was a star, everything changed for me. So, yeah.
Nice. If you have to describe your life from here in 10 years, how would you would like it to be?
I would like to be like married to my girl, living with her obviously, and I would like for us both to be successful dancers and choreographers in this world and be working together and on this journey, and probably moved out of Jersey. Definitely moved out of Jersey.
You're
Obviously.
like, I'm getting the fuck out of Jersey.
But yeah, just I guess that's what I would measure it for. Just being with her and living our life and being successful in dance within that.
Nice. Would you consider yourself a vulnerable person?
At times. Not all the time. Like I was saying, I don't get emotional with my family. I don't like to be vulnerable, and I'm very selective with who I am vulnerable with. I don't like a lot of people to see me cry. I don't like getting emotional in front of people. I just don't like people to see that part of me.
Okay.
And that's something I have to work on. But I can be very vulnerable, but I don't like to show. Not everybody gets to see that side of me, though.
When was the last time you cried?
Yesterday. I cry a lot.
Okay.
Just by myself. I'm a
good.
crier. I cry for everything.
What was the reason you
I'm very
cried
emotional.
yesterday?
I miss my girlfriend. Everything's my girlfriend. Long distance is hard. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a long distance one?
Yeah.
Oh,
She just left.
Where's she
I
at?
didn't realize how sad I was. Indiana/Chicago.
Oh.
But I'm literally
Audrey
flying
is
out to
from
Chicago next
Indiana.
week. What'd you say?
Audrey's from
Yeah, her and Audrey
Indiana
are friends.
too, right?
They used to dance together when they were younger. Like they were
Really?
like, yeah, they like started out together. It's so funny.
Would she like to move to New York or?
Yeah, for sure. She definitely wants to get out of Indiana.
You want to move together? You mentioned, right?
Yeah. I don't know where yet, but we will. I'm manifesting it. But yeah, definitely was crying because I missed her. I didn't realize how much I did because I'm literally flying there next week. So I was like, I'm not gonna miss you. Like, you can leave. I don't really give a fuck. Like, not like that, but like, I was trying to convince myself I wasn't sad. But, when someone's like when you're sleeping in the same bed as someone for 3 weeks and then they leave, it's hard. Long distance is fucking not for the weak.
No,
and
but
I can be the weak sometimes.
I had a long distance relationship. Didn't
Really?
work out with it.
Don't tell me that.
I mean, from that, like,
Yeah.
I actually, from myself, I learned that like I cannot do long.
It's definitely not
distance.
for everyone.
Nah, bro. Like I used to have, I had 2 girlfriends before, like 3 years and 3 years. Like I was very committed. So,
Wow.
I moved here, and honestly, bro, I really felt like she was the one. But, I'm a very physical person, so, like, let's say we get like very close. And we're like hanging out because we're in the same crew, right?
Right.
Let's say you move to LA, bro. I'll probably lose total contact
Right.
with you. I'm not a good texter. I'm not a good caller. I get annoyed when someone calls me. I'm a person that I'm very like good by myself.
Yeah.
I like to be alone. I love to be alone. So for me, like, I was still figuring out. Like, I just moved from another country and da da da. So I was like, listen, bro, I love you, but I don't have the energy to be like after a long day and be like, how's your day? Like,
Okay, that's valid.
so
It's not for everyone.
For me, my conclusion was like, I'm not giving you 100, so it's not fair to you because I'm gonna start treating you bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you the attention you deserve, and you're gonna think like I'm gonna be cheating or whatever. So I was like, listen, bro, just like let's just cut it off. And I'm so sorry, like I'm gonna break your heart, but I think it's the best thing, bro. I'm not gonna make you lose your time.
Yeah.
So
At least you didn't waste her time fully.
fully.
Maybe 3 years, but,
No, but it was good though.
But on a real note, like you have to experience those things to realize that's the shit you don't
Yeah,
want.
bro. Like for me, like
Like-
long distance is just not happening.
That is fine.
Yeah, bro. If
Like,
you're a person you can work with it, that's amazing.
yeah, but the gays love long distance. The gays fucking love it, especially girls. Because it's like, bro, I just knew my soulmate wasn't fucking in Jersey. Like, my soulmate was not fucking here or New York.
Indiana.
Definitely fucking not. I knew my soulmate was fucking out of the state, but
It's
yeah.
alright. Okay, good. So for the last part of the podcast, I always like to give gifts to my guests. You're like, what?
yes.
Here's $1 million check.
I'm
No,
like,
just
oh,
kidding.
period.
As I always say, I like them to be memorable. Of course, I'm not gonna give you a car. That's for me.
It's fine. I can't drive anyways.
I'm like, you drive that shit to home. But I think now with like so many things that we have, materialistic and things, I think as a gift that you can take home, you can take wherever you want to because you travel a lot, right? I got you. Don't worry. So, in this, I usually do like to make like a little recap of the things that we talked about, because basically just like you're telling us your journey, right?
Right.
So we're talking about Jojo,
Yeah.
Brooks, right?
Yeah.
Who was a little girl, started dancing at 3 years old, doing her African dancing or whatever, and figuring out life. Like even though didn't went deep through it, but childhood, like even like knowing yourself as a lesbian and be like, oh shit, like, I came from a religious family, like I'm gonna just like get kicked out of the house,
right.
like, so that means like growing up you had to like really like grow like very tough and like fake it till you make it, right? But like from the conversation that like I just had with you, I can tell you're a vulnerable person. You just don't like to show it.
Yeah.
That's what you like. Maybe that's your shield, like that's the shield. Like very like if you see Jojo, for example, like, and you don't know her, she looks like very unapproachable and be like, damn, like she just have this like character and whatever, right? So what I figure is like just maybe like it's just a little shield to like make up all the real things that are going internally, right?
Yeah.
Then you mentioned like you do dancing, you started like doing hip hop around like 13 or 13, right?
Like 11.
11. Good. And then, like you start making your way in the dance industry. You come to like New York 16. They're like, damn, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. But like, as like you tell, it hasn't been easy. Like it's not all so like flowers and like rainbows and everything. Like you have to endure yourself and actually show discipline, show up, and all this hesitation of like, do I have the looks that it requires to make it to the industry? Am I good enough, or like, am I good enough to be in the room, right? And then start building your name in the industry, what you're making, right? Start teaching in Brick House, New York. Now you're teaching in New Jersey. You're teaching like in Bodega. You're teaching in Chicago. Like it's getting to a point. All this effort is being like not just like to make it. Like you actually like are. Everything you talk about dance. I don't know if you realize that. Like,
everything's dance.
Everything is dance. Like where you look, like dancing, da 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 da, right?
Yeah.
So this is very admirable for you. I mean, from you, right? Also growing up with your siblings, like having being a DJ, and your family, and then be like, I'm like I can DJ, but I'm not passionate about it, and like seeing this relationship also with your sister, and like looking up to someone like. It's a very, for me, it's a very like impactful kind of a story, right? Also like that, like donating a kidney, like growing up knowing your dad, you don't know if tomorrow he's gonna be there for you, like even though you take it like, yeah, it's all right, deep down, like it's something like it really probably bothers you on the daily basis, right? Which is not easy to endure. So basically, like for me, from this conversation, I'm really knowing who Jojo is, right? Who's the person behind all this star and monsters and chaos and fucking breakouts. You understand? So it's for me, it's like a very nice story to see, right? And I think this gift really solidify or a lot of your personality, right? So here it is. Go ahead.
Oh my! Where did you get that?
Good. So,
whoa!
You have people who like you really love. So you can take this. I can like see your poker face, which is
my god!
Where
did you get that fucking picture on the bottom?
So you see that this is the like what we see in Jojo, but then you have your family, then you got your goofy side. We're now like, and also like I also like to put like whenever you were like younger, because that's the real you. Like it's not like whenever we be adults, we just endure so much and we just forget like who we really are, because we gotta like pay bills and like a job and I gotta make it, all this type of stuff. But just like remember who you really are. So this is for you. So
Thank you so much. I'm gonna put this up in my room.
Right?
Thank you.
You can just see it, right? This for you, so you can like take it, be it put in your room, or whenever you go on a trip, you can just like take the picture so you can remember who you are and the people who actually surrounds you, right? And but last but not least, then I'll just make you 2 or 3 more questions. Good. So as I said, like we just like did your journey, we just like went through it and whatever. But I feel like even though you have your family, like I always say this, like you won't have your friends, your girlfriend, at the end of the day, the only person is that you have is actually you. You're the one that like in your room, you're like with your thoughts and like, what can I do here? How do I feel this? Right. So I just hope like whenever you get all this success that I know for sure you're gonna have,
thank you.
right? Because you've been working out like working for it a lot. It's not like you woke up one day and you're like success, right? That's how we see it,
right?
But we don't know the real work. And maybe like just maybe whenever you have all this success, you may lose yourself sometimes. Sometimes it happens, right? So I would like you to like every time you have this moment of doubts, or even like you believe you're like a superstar, because you may get like this type of emotions, right? We all get like this shit, right? So whenever you have these times, I would like you to see this picture and just remember to always be there for this person right here, which is you.
Oh, that's gonna make me emotional. That is so cute. I love that picture of us too. Oh,
So it's for you too.
thank you. Wait. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
This is for you. And then just the last questions. I always make my guests respond these questions looking at your younger self. So the last
Yeah.
picture I gave you, you don't have to look at me, just look at yourself. And just answer this question. So if you have the opportunity to talk to Jojo Brooks, of that little girl right there that had like a lot of dreams and a lot of emotions, and didn't have this so much expectation of life, she was just like going through it.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to talk to her, what would you like to tell her?
It'll all work out just fine. Everything you're doing is literally gonna come to fruition, and all your dreams are attainable. There's nothing you can't do, and you just gotta believe in yourself, and it's gonna happen. And you're gonna be so proud of yourself, and it's gonna be unbelievable as where you'll go, because you never thought you could.
Nice.
Oh,
If you
so
have
cute.
if you have the opportunity to talk to a 90-year-old Jojo Brooks,
Oh my god.
what would you like to hear from her?
I'd like to hear that like everything that I worked hard for wasn't for nothing. I'd like to hear that I lived a happy life, and that I can say that through my whole like of 90 years, I don't regret anything. Everything happened for a reason, and it happened for good reason. And that, I just want to be satisfied with where I end up. And I hope that I fell in love with the process up until getting there.
Nice. Last question. How would you like to be remembered whenever your journey gets to an end?
I want to be remembered as a raw soul, somebody who wasn't afraid to be who they are, somebody who didn't care what other people thought, who kept going whenever people said they couldn't, who, just was consistent and determined. I just want to be known as just genuine, just a genuine soul that was loved and admired by many.
Nice. Jojo, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
I hope you actually enjoy the conversation
really
as much
did.
as I did.
Yes.
I don't know if you have anything else that you would like to say to me, any questions you would like to ask, or if I didn't ask any question that you would like to be asked. This is your moment.
Did you think that you would be able to do, like, was this podcast something you'd always wanted to do? And did you see it as something that, like, that it is now? Is it where you'd want it to be?
Not really. Like I was mentioned before.
Yeah.
I don't see myself like as a podcaster, to be honest. I just as I told you, I'm sober all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like a lot of deep thinking, like about my life or life in general.
Yeah.
So I overthink, right? So I just love to have like deep conversations, and I feel just it's very sad for me, right, that you're not able to have deep conversations with people unless they're drunk or high.
Right.
So I think this is a good space for me. I was talking to Rob, right? Because we had a very deep conversation in my car, and it's for me. It always works like this. Like I don't know why like people really tend to open a lot with me. Like I don't know. I'm just like people like to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think I can make a podcast also because I think like as people in general, like but specifically artists or business owners, you don't really know the person. Like you don't have that spaces. So meaning like it's not like a singer. Like you can go to a podcast or like a show or something like that.
Yep.
And know the person. Usually dancer just like you show moves and that's it. So I like to know like their story, and also like I like to be like their how you call that, like unconscious side of your brain, because it's basically like just having a conversation with yourself.
Yeah.
Meaning like I just guide you through the process. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So then I went to like a very deep moment in my life where I wish I will have a deep conversation with someone so they can help me out. So I'm not the type of person of like helping people to and like me like crying by your side. I just like to have a good conversation so you can go home and think about what you said, not what I said.
Right.
So it's just like hearing yourself. So I think it's a good space, like just to talk, to know people. Like I think like if I wouldn't have this space, I would never talk to you like that.
Right.
Right. And yeah, bro, it's just like I like deep conversations. It's just like a good excuse to have them, to be honest. And I think people like really I had like very good feedback from the people who have come here. They enjoy themselves, like, because it's all about you, like. So if that responds to your answer, I think.
No, that was a great response. I think you're absolutely right. Like, I'm glad that we were able to do this, and I'm sure you and like the other guests you've had on here are feel the same way, because I feel like we know each other differently now, and you know, it's like, okay, we can look at each other and be like, oh wait, now I know this about you, so I see you more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see different sides of you because I know more. And if it wasn't for this, we might not have.
Of course.
So I think that's what's really special about it. And I don't know, like, it is just like great excuse to have deep conversations and like figure out what makes you on both ends. Like, just figuring out how you go about life, so you are why are you the way you are, and realizing, okay, this is why you do this. And then getting rehearsals is being like, okay, this is why you run rehearsals like this, or this is why we take class like this, or this is this, that, and the third, and like intertwining life and dance within all in one, because like we both dance and like that's why we're here, but like life is dance, and like life, if you can't function in life, then you can't function in dance. So yeah, it's just super special. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. But if you actually made it to the end of the conversation, good shit for y'all. Good, you're not lazy and just like watching the clips. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed again, like the conversation, right? Please like, subscribe. Please
do it.
Good.
Do it.
Support so I can pay my rent.
Yup.
But thank you so much, Jojo. I'll see you in the next one, y'all.
Yes.
Yo, thank you so much.